Good evening, everybody. It's the Cryptid Huntress. I'm Jessica Jones. What's up, everybody? It's Saturday night, and we are going on the hunt tonight with Flatrock. I'm so honored to say that Flatrock is my buddy and my friend, and I have been waiting about 2 years to bring him on the show. And so I am super excited to have Flatrock here with us tonight. You guys are in for a huge treat, and we're going to have a really good time this evening. So y'all buckle up and get ready, because we're going to go down the rabbit hole of where Flatrock actually lives, y'all. It's almost like a Bigfoot habituation site on his property out there. And ever since the day I met Flatrock, we have discussed all of the Bigfoots that he has living around his home on his property. And what's up to all the folks in the chat tonight? Thank y'all so much for being here. I see a bunch of y'all that were there at the Alabama campout that I attended just several weeks ago, and I got to hang out with Flatrock there. And so thank y'all for being here in the chat tonight, and thank y'all also for showing up at Spaced Out Radio last night. Y'all, that was wild. I'm still trying to get my sleep patterns fixed after last night. I was up all night with Dave, seems like. Dave Scott over at Spaced Out Radio. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And it felt like being on my own show over there, because I had all y'all were in that chat last night, and that really meant the world to me. And it's always fun to catch up with Dave Scott and to go back to my roots over there at Spaced Out Radio. So thank y'all so much for that. So yeah, let's get the show started tonight, y'all. If you would like to follow along with all my shows and check out my archives and my calendar and everything, where I'm going to be speaking publicly, go over to my website. That's thecryptidhuntress.com. You can find all of my shows there that are archived, my calendar of events, pictures, all sorts of stuff. You can get my bio. If I'm coming on your show, y'all, if anybody's going to have me on the show, if you need my bio stuff, it's all on my website. It's just a little FYI for you guys, okay? It's all over there. And also, I do have a Patreon if you guys would like to support my work. It's over at patreon.com/The Cryptid Huntress. And thank you guys so much for your support there. And my shop is called War Woman Goods. Thank you guys again for all your support. My next event that I have coming up is in about 3 weeks at the Full Disclosure Now conference in Florida, down at St. Petersburg, July the 15th through the 18th. So if you guys want to come to that, please use this discount code. You can find it on my website. And yeah, I would love to see all y'all there. I know Maureen said she's coming, and a couple of other you guys will probably be there. And I can't wait to meet you. And here's a flyer for that. If anybody's interested in joining us there, go to fulldisclosuremovement.org for more information on that. Okay. Well, we have so much to discuss tonight. And this might actually creep some of y'all out, as a matter of fact, because I always advocate for blinds and curtains and locking your doors at night. And this is partly why. Okay, what we're going to talk about tonight with Flatrock. I am a huge proponent. I'm an advocate for closing your blinds at night, y'all, because you never know what's looking in when you live out in the woods. And Flatrock is going to tell us all about that. So Flatrock is not actually a researcher. I believe he stated that before. I've heard him say that. He's not a researcher. He's an experiencer. He has Bigfoots living on his property at his home. And it's not always pretty, y'all. It's not always pretty. And Flatrock really needs no introduction, okay, because it's Flatrock. Flatrock Wood Boogers. He had a YouTube channel. I don't believe the YouTube channel's up right now, but you can find him over on Facebook at Flatrock Wood Boogers. Please help me welcome to the show my good buddy, Mr. Flatrock himself.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, Flatrock? Thank you for being here.
More than welcome.
Thank you. It's taken me 2 years to bribe you to come on my show. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you wrote a good check.
Yes. Well, thank you. Yes, it was worth the wait. It was definitely worth the wait. And I was so tickled when I got to see all y'all a couple weeks ago over in Alabama, and somewhere around the Talladega Forest, somewhere out there, that hunt camp. And golly, I know y'all had some activity.
Yeah, Holland is a wild place. It really is.
It is. Well, Alabama never disappoints, Flatrock, ever. Why do you suppose there's so many boogers out there?
Well, probably because Alabama's 70% woods.
Oh, well, that would explain a lot. And mountains, a lot of mountains out there.
It's called the Amazon of the United States, basically.
Oh my gosh. Well, even up in North Georgia, that's a tropical rainforest. Up there at the Chattahoochee National Forest. It is. I don't know about Talladega, but I know North Georgia is an actual rainforest.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. That's why it's always raining up there, muggy, and it rains a good bit in Talladega too. I spend a lot of time out there.
Yeah, it does. It does. It rains a lot here as well.
Oh, but,
they say the more rain though, it's usually where the boogers are going to be. Where it rains more at is where the boogers are going to be at. I mean, that's been said many, many times from a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. I see a booger in our chat right now. His name is Patrick Noble. That's a booger.
Oh, yeah. That's an old booger now.
It is. We've got, I believe, Pat and Joe and BF Bud are in the chat tonight, and Patrick.
Yep. That's my family
and Wendell.
there.
Yes, Wendell Mosley's in here too. I haven't gone through the whole list yet, y'all. So I know I'm leaving people out. So thank y'all so much for being here, and people that were at that camp out. And I mean, I was even watching Roger over at Squatch and Holler had that video of that orb that y'all caught out there too. That was pretty interesting.
He's the one who filmed it. I got the play-by-play analysis while he was filming it. I mean, it was cool. It was cool the way he was. Talking about what he was seeing and all, but mostly the face that he had seen. That was when he was describing that. That was really, it was. I ain't gonna say it because I ain't gonna be a spoiler of it, but yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. Yeah, I saw the panel y'all did talking about it, and I saw the short video of it. That's a perfectly round orb, and we get those a lot out in the field too when we're out there doing our Bigfooting. We get a lot of weird orbs and all different types of orbs. But this is this Joe? Is Joe Bayou cracking? I think he is. Okay, and so let's see. When I was leaving, I guess you heard that I saw two weird creatures up the road.
Yes, I heard. I watched your show on that one. Yes,
it was weird. Okay, I think this is Joe. He says 2 black hogs. You know what? It did not look anything like hogs. Maybe the one that had its back turned. I mean, if those were hogs, they were gigantic, and hogs do get big.
Yeah.
But it didn't have the face of a hog. And I did want to make this note because my dad, of all people, he is a total skeptic. I don't even know if he believes in Bigfoot all the way. Okay. And when I was telling him about them and I was explaining what they look like an African dog with a cougar and like a bear, like size of a bear. He goes, well, that was an alpha coyote, is what he told me.
And before 2019, there was nobody in the world that could make me believe they were real. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are. They're 100% real.
Well, I love having the skeptical voice in my ear, and I'm a skeptic as well. But I've seen things that aren't supposed to exist, Flatrock, and I know you have too.
Yeah. Well, you go show a picture of something, I can't tell what it is. I've asked hundreds of people, from preachers, everybody. They don't know what it is that's looking in that window that me and you seen just a little while ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to show it.
Still ain't figured that one out yet.
Yeah. Well, I can really appreciate the, Pat and Joe and BF Bud came on the show last Thursday, about a week ago, and we showed that video from the LBL that they had. What looks like a Dogman or a snouted Bigfoot or something. It looks like a Dogman to me.
Yep.
But you know, it's never been like they're not definitive about it. Like this is definitely a Bigfoot. They leave it up to the viewer to decide.
I mean, is Dogman or Bigfoot, it don't matter. What it boils down to, that's a cryptid, and that's the first ever thermal like that to ever come out of LBL. As big as LBL is, that's the first ever thermal of a Dogman Bigfoot to ever come out of there. You know, and I'm proud of them. I'm damn proud of them for doing what they did.
Oh yeah, we hear a lot of stories about the Dogmen out there, and I have good friends that have had face-to-face encounters with them out there, including Cryptiville's in the chat right now too. Cryptiville's had at least 2 encounters out that way. He lives up there, and so we know they're out there. But to get a thermal video of it, I mean that's amazing. So I was super blessed that they came on the show, and show that to the world over here on my channel.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you got some good evidence too, and I want to get into your I'm going to call it a habituation over there of the Bigfoots on your property. Have you always lived there on that property? How long have you been there?
We moved here. Me and my wife moved here right after the Hurricane Michael. Which when we was living back in Panama City. Now we bought the property in 2014. My mom moved out here, and my brother eventually moved out here. Me, I was dealing with cancer back in Florida, and then, but once the hurricane come in, I had no choice but to move out here at that point.
Oh yeah. Did you know there was going to be boogers out there?
Oh no. I mean, even when the banging and all that was going on, and we hear people walking through the woods and yelling and stuff, we thought it was people. We did until they were seen. We thought they were people.
Y'all just thought it was people. Do you think it was feral people or just neighbors?
No,
or
just people. Yeah,
just people.
We just thought it was people.
Yeah. Oh man.
Just trying to run us off the property, because I mean this is prime hunting property where we're at. I mean it is very prime hunting property, and this land used to be a private hunting property before we bought it. So you could see people trying to run us off.
Yeah, you're on their hunting ground. Well, they were people trying to run y'all off, but they were forest people.
Yeah,
they were a little hairy.
Yeah.
When was the first time that you realized there was something not human about these humans?
Well, the first time was my brother. I come down here to visit after I come back from the cancer center, and my brother took off down his path to go down to the river. Well, he got turned around back there in the woods, and he called us up on his phone, told us, he can't find his way out. So we drove a car back up in there and started beeping the horn, try to pull him out. Yeah. Well, it got dark, and all he had is the cell phone with the little light on the cell phone. And he said he run into something big out there, and it scared the mess out of him. And we finally got him back to the car, and that's when he told us, he thinks he saw a Bigfoot, but we laughed at him, I mean, we laughed at him because, we just didn't believe it. But when I was sitting on my mom's porch smoking a cigarette, and I could hear Bobby working on the cook shack, I look off to my left, and there's some big old black thing looking, toward them. And it eventually turned toward me. All I could do is drop my head and, start saying, oh shit. I found my way back in the house, yelled for them, my brother and my mom, and by the time they got to where I was at, the thing was gone already. But that's when I was 100% sure that they were real at that point.
Who all lives on your property? Your mom's out there?
Yeah, my mom, my brother Bobby, me, my brother Jerry just moved out here. Mr. Bobby, which used to be my mom's boyfriend. He lives up front, and that's about it. Oh, and
Okay.
there's another Bob. There's another Bob up there on the other side of Bobby's house. He actually used to live on our side, but now he's over there behind Bobby's house.
Mhm.
He got run out of Panama City because of the hurricane too, and we brought him up here. So there's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us here.
Oh man, y'all got a community over there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's good. That's
yeah.
good. You gotta look out for each
Every
other.
yeah, every one of us has seen these creatures except for my brother Jerry because he just moved out here. You know, he just retired and moved out here. So you know, every one of us has seen us except for him.
Okay. Did they start harassing y'all right off the bat, or was it kind of like a slow progression after you had that occurrence?
Well, the first occurrence was with my mom. Um, she was the only one out here, and you know how somebody come bang on your house and run.
Yeah.
So that's the game that was being played with her. You know, some come banging up on her house. You know, scared the hell out of her, and you know, nothing else. So one day, she called me up, tell me, you know, Kenny, somebody's tapping on my window, and she held the phone up to it, and you could actually hear something tapping on the window. You know, tap 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 tap. Next thing you
Oh,
know, boom! You know, hits that trailer real hard. And I'm trying to tell my mom, I said, Mom, it's probably just people. Look, peek out the window, you know, out the curtain and see who it is.
mhm.
And she was too scared too, but that lasted for a while. But once it ended, she grabbed up her dogs and took off back to Panama City for a day or two.
Oh,
That's how it all started.
I don't blame her one bit. Has she come back, or she
Oh
stayed
yeah,
gone?
yeah, yeah. She came
Mhm.
back a couple of days later. But my younger brother Bobby, he moved back up here with her.
Okay, so she feels a little safer
Yeah,
having somebody there with her. So
yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
That's good. I mean, I mean, how did everybody start acclimating to it? Are y'all acclimated to it, or
Yeah, we are
are
now.
you
Yeah,
harassed?
we are now. I mean, beating on your house, you don't get used to that. Yeah, you just don't. Because you know you're sitting here, you're just watching YouTube or TV, and next thing you know, somebody yelling outside your window, banging on your house. No, you don't get used to that. That you don't get used to. But you know, last time that I know that they come in my yard was on March 9th. Um, 1 something in the morning. They come on the back side of my house over on the master side, the master bedroom, bathroom side of the house. But you could actually hear them run past the window, the bathroom window, and hit my listening device pole.
Hmm.
And they stand still for a few minutes, and then they walk over to this cooler I got some oyster shells in. You can hear him open up that cooler, messing around with the oyster shells. It actually sounded like he put one in his mouth a bit. But
Ouch.
once he did that, you can actually hear him stomping off. You know, that's the last time they was in the yard, you know, that I
I
know
wonder
of. Yeah.
what if he broke a tooth or cut
I
his
don't know,
lip.
but that's a cool audio to listen to though. It really is.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
one of my favorite stories. Now, didn't you tell me that there was like a bacon a grease trap on your? Was that you that told me that there was
No.
a
Mm-mm.
that wasn't you? Okay,
Mm-mm.
somebody I know was talking about how a Bigfoot had licked the grease trap out of their grill. I thought maybe that was you.
Ah,
Um,
yeah, I have said
did you?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got an
Maybe it was
audio of
somebody.
that. Yeah, yeah. The grease trap of my grill. When you said the grill, I knew what you were
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was the grill.
they come up on the dang porch. You can actually hear them open the grill up, start lapping the grease out. You know,
Yum.
walk down the porch a little ways, and you can actually hear them talking. You know, you can hear them talking, going through there, opening up stuff. You could actually hear them talking. Sure can.
I mean, so when you say that you can hear them talking, what
Mhm.
exactly have you done? You put out audio recorders all around the
Yeah.
yard, or
Yeah.
what have
Oh
you
no,
done?
just up on that porch. You know where it was, that was actually the first recording I ever got was them when they come up on that porch.
Yeah.
Again, we thought it was people, okay? But it was the night of January 5th, or the early morning of January 5th. I don't want to get it mistaken. Early morning, and then you got the night, but it was the early morning. And they come up on the porch of July 5th, 2019. And the I was just listening to that audio a few days ago, and after I put out that recorder, you could start hearing the knocking going on all over the place. 37 minutes after I put the recorder out. 37 minutes. So that's exactly when it all started. You know, because back then I didn't know what I was listening to when I hear that stuff. But now that I do, you know, I always go back and get the stuff that I didn't understand before, like the tree knocks and little stuff like that. You know, now I know, and I went back and I got it, and, you know, and starting to mark everything down and document everything.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes things will pick up on the recorder that you don't hear. You know,
Exactly.
I mean, like little subtle things will show up, and even voices that you don't hear with your own ears will show up
That's
on
right.
the recordings.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
I got some of those.
How many do you think? How many Bigfoots? And you do believe they're all Bigfoots, right? Out there, like a family?
Yeah. I've seen 2 family groups so far, you know, and, you know, I've seen the single ones as well, but I'm just talking about family groups. That's the mama and the kids, you know. I've seen 2 different family groups, which one I got a picture of and the other one I got video of. And rest of them are all been single ones. So, you know, I don't know if they're just juveniles or adult males or females. All I know is they were by themselves when I got that, when I captured it.
Oh man. So wow. That's just fantastic, and it's also scary. When I say it's fantastic, I mean I'm fascinated by it, but I sure wouldn't want to live with Bigfoots bugging me all the time and living right
It's
there.
not easy. It really ain't. But you learn to live with it. You know, you find some way to live with it. You block a lot of stuff out, but you learn to live with it. You know, so we ignore them. I do my thing by got my listening device out there so I can hear them from inside right where I'm sitting right now. And so it's more comfortable knowing when they're coming up than when you don't know and you walk outside and they're just standing out there. You know, which that's happened as well.
Have you ever considered putting cameras out there, or do you think that
I
would?
used to. I took all my cameras down in 2021 when I took all my cameras down. You know, just started doing mainly audio from now on.
Do you think that did the activity stop a little bit or slow down when you put the cameras out there, or did it just keep on going?
It kept going.
Really?
Kept going.
Oh man, because you hear about people putting cameras out, and there's not a lot of activity, but then they take it down, and or the Bigfoots will take the cameras down for you.
Well, you know, they talk about IR. You know, they can see IR, and I believe they do. I believe they can see it 100%. But it ain't never stopped them here. You know, we put floodlights out. It didn't stop them. You know,
Wow.
they're gonna, you know, they basically telling us, hey, we're not going nowhere neither. So
They're standing their ground. That's what
yeah,
they're doing.
yeah,
That's what they're doing. But they haven't done anything to harm you
no,
or your family. Just letting
no,
you know they're there. Do you feel like they're protecting you at any times?
no, no,
You don't?
no, no, no,
Oof.
no.
Oof. That actually makes me feel kind of bad, because you want to think, like, me, coming from my train of thought. You like to think that things that are living around you, maybe they're there to protect you, but
Well,
not in this case at all, right?
they're coming here to feed is what they're doing.
Oh,
You know, I mean, that's what I believe that kept them coming in was the dog food, cat food, and table scraps we're putting out. Because we burn our garbage out here. You know, So they've even stuck a stick down in our fire pit, pulled all the trash over so they can actually eat the food that's out on the bottom of the fire pit. I've even seen them do that, but they come up on our porch a lot and they grab the dog food and cat food and haul butt back to the woods.
My question is, I have a lot of questions, of course, but one of my questions is, do you think they're more human-like or more animal-like?
I've seen both. I've seen the gorilla-looking ones, and I've seen the human-looking ones. Which
Really?
I point them out. You'll see them tonight. When
Yeah.
you pull up the pictures, you'll see the human-looking ones, and you'll see the ape-looking ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same, yes, but they look different.
Well, I had the privilege of seeing, I think you might have been, I can't remember if you were there or not, but not this past year, but the year before, um, MK Davis gave a presentation at the East Alabama Bigfoot Town Hall. You were there, right?
Yep, I was there.
I saw you there.
Yep.
And we got to hear his presentation. That was just fantastic. It was amazing.
Yes.
And I remember him saying that I think that what he said was he believes that some of the more human looking ones are actually hybrids of like the more gorilla type, the primate type mating with humans.
Yeah. Well, there's that's true. And he also said something else to me as well, just by footprints. You got Patty's footprint, and then you got the Freeman footprint. The Patty footprint is human looking. The Freeman footprint is like an hourglass. Wide foot, spreaded toes, and a smaller, thinner heel. But it looks like an hourglass. Which I'll show you an hourglass when you pull up pictures. But what he's basically saying is the one with the human footprints, like Patty, it's like the ones with the human DNA, and the ones like the Freeman's footage with the hourglass foot is the full-blooded ones, the unknown with no human DNA in it. That's how he theorized it to me, and hey, that's a good theory about that. Now I got to give him that one.
Yeah, I agree. And it's that the unknown DNA, and that's like with the Melba Ketchum studies that she did. It's like the maternal side is human, right, and then the paternal side would be unknown.
I believe in the long run, Melba's going to be proven right. Because they can, go at her about the contamination. Well, that's all been debunked there. You can wash out contamination out of anything because everything's already contaminated. So, but what they can't say, they can't deny the 12 other blind study DNA tests from other labs that came with the same results. You can attack one person, but you can't attack all those results. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. Don't you think there's a vested interest in keeping all this covered up, though, in the big picture?
Yeah. The big picture, yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, people are always asking me, well, when is the government ever going to admit these are real? And no, probably not. I don't know. Maybe they already have. I've seen topographical maps, that say that have Bigfoots on them that say that Sasquatch are dangerous animals and stuff. So, and that was like the Air Force put that out, or one of the branches put that out a while back. I believe our government is fully aware of these things.
Yeah, I can tell you something right now. My best friend Tyler, he lives over at the Florida state line.
Tyler Howell, y'all. He was on my show. It's Spaced Out Radio.
He talks to a lot of the Air Force people over there because that area he lives in ain't nothing but Air Force. That's all that place is, Air Force people. Anyway, he's talked to 2 separate retired pilots from over there. Didn't know each other, but they said the same story to him. Before they make a bombing run at that Air Force base, they have to send a team out there to run these creatures off the bombing area so them jets can actually do their bombing runs. That tells you everything you need to know. Everything you need to know right there. These are 2 different Air Force pilots that didn't even know each other, but yet they said the same exact thing.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
they have to run them out of there. They do, you said like they do like a low flyover or something to kind of flush them out?
No. They send the people in there to run them out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked about it. And, you
Yeah.
know, we have a lot of people I know on military bases have encountered Bigfoots.
I mean, that's where Tyler got his footage at, was right there at that base.
Oh, is that where that was? Because he has a really great video, y'all, of Bigfoot at the power lines. You know, like where there's like a strip of, you know, just wide open grass with all those power lines, and there's a Bigfoot down there. That's in Florida. Was it in Florida or Alabama where he got that?
Florida, right there in Florida.
Yeah, yeah, they're everywhere.
Just on the other side of the state line, right there.
Oh man, so they have to flush them out and get them out of there.
They gotta push them off the area where they're fixing to do bombing runs. Yep.
Sure. Well, you know what, that tells me a couple things right there. First of all, they know they're there, they're real. They probably have them there for a reason, I would think. I mean, it's on government owned land. But then again, I'm looking at all the places that I researched, and a lot of those places are federal, you know, national parks.
Yeah, I mean, look how many veterans have actually come out and talked about their encounters at the base. One of them being right there in Georgia, Captain Joe from Sasquatch Brigade.
Oh yeah, that's down at the Troop Herd Corridor.
That's right.
That's where I do my I do some of my research there. That's where my son saw his first Bigfoot actually down there, and that's near Fort Benning, which is right there where Flatrock. It's also very well known as being a place for mass alien abductions, right there as well. So there's that aspect, and it's not only just mass alien abductions there; it's alien abductions with the military in the environment, like soldiers in the room when these people are getting abducted, according to what some of the accounts are.
Yep.
Yeah. What's going on down there? I don't know.
But that's definitely at the bases. They're at the bases, that's for sure.
They're at the bases, which would make a connection between our government, our military agencies, or something. And these, this is for entertainment purposes only, y'all. I always have to say that, Flatrock.
That always.
Just to cover my butt. Okay.
Got it.
But there seems to be some kind of a connection there, and the fact that a lot of these sightings too, and the research that I do is on government land as well. A lot of it. I don't know, but your land is private. Maybe where you live, right? I mean, do you live near any kind of national park or any kind of government land?
I live just way back in the woods. We got a river right there. We got a creek right here. We got streams coming out of the ground on both sides of my house. So plenty of water.
Oh, water's a big one. Got to have the water.
Bunch of deer. I can hunt right out my back door. That's how easy it is to hunt out here.
Oh wow.
The wild fruit is abundant as well out here. The grapes, the muscadines, the that other kind of tree that Joe Parker found last year, persimmon tree. Yeah, persimmon trees are out here.
Those little sour fruits.
Oh yeah, they're all out here. All kinds of berries.
That's wonderful, and they got your dog food too. And have these things ever hurt your dog? I know I love Boo.
Yeah.
Okay, I've met Boo a couple times now. Have they ever bugged your dog, like hurt your dog or anything?
Yeah, they have. Yeah. They've actually killed my brother's dog, and they hit Boo with a rock. That rock was about like this right here. I can actually pull it out on just a second.
You actually have the rock?
Yeah, I still got the rock that they hit him with.
Y'all, Boo is the sweetest dog. He's got a good dog. Comes out in the woods with him. Here. Yeah, Boo comes out in the woods with Flatrock, and I've met him on at least 2 occasions.
That's the rock they hit him with right there.
Oh no!
Now, I thought it was a person who threw this rock, and that's the reason I kept it, because I was going to throw this back at the person who hit my dog. But once I found out these creatures were real, and they do throw rocks, well, that's how I know they hit my dog with a rock. and that's why I've always kept this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they nailed him in the back leg with a rock, and he started spinning around like a car, hitting a dog from his back leg. You know how they spin and yelping. Well, that's what he started doing, and then he finally run up to the trailer, the RV that I was in at the time, and and I walked over, and that's where I found the rock right there where he was spinning at, and and I set up a light because we kept hearing somebody walking away right there where that rock come from, and you could hear them every time we pull in the yard. We'd hear somebody walking away, but we never could see them. So I set up a floodlight in the woods and set up a camera back there, and I caught something. I still thought it was human, but I caught something that was that got off to the edge of that light, but I caught it, and you'll see a picture of that tonight as well.
Oh yeah. We have a lot of good pictures to show y'all tonight. Okay.
Yep.
And I wanted to bring one more thing up because I remember I used to talk to Connor a lot, Connor and Matt. That used to they came down. Those are my buddies too. And before I knew you, I knew them actually. And they were telling me about being down there and camping out at your place. And there was an incident. I won't get into details. I don't know how public they were about this, but I know they had a little incident out there, and they a lot of booger activity. Let's just say that. Okay,
they had some. They had some activity.
Yeah, and I think that's how I kind of knew of you. I think was through that, and yeah. So you actually allow your friends to come out there sometimes and like go camping and actually experience the Bigfoots out there, right?
Yeah. Now Connor and Matt, they, as they're into the Bigfoot subject. So they were into that zone of Bigfoot. Now the most of the people I bring out here are really very skeptic people. That's what I like the best. Just very skeptic. I mean, some of them I brought out here that never even believed in them creatures and left here a believer. And so, but I make a lot of people write reports. Now I don't. The people that I associate with, like Pat and Joe, Bud and Angie, because they're very, very honest people. But with the rest of them, I make them write reports. Good, bad, or ugly, just be honest. Just write a report. What you seen, what you heard, if you did, if you didn't, when, what, where, and that's what I do.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. It's like having one of those guest logs, when you go to an event. Back in the day, we had one of those down at our farm, and we'd have a party, and everybody'd sign it. They don't do that much anymore unless you go to like a wedding or a funeral or something. But that's kind of neat. Like you got to check in, and if you had something happen, keep a log of it, the date, the time, and all that. I mean, that's fantastic. Yeah, we've actually Pat's right here, Blue-Eyed Northern. What's up, Pat? Pat had said at the beginning of the show, she left one of the first comments saying that was one of her favorite places to go. Was out to your property.
It's a great place. It really is for Sasquatch research. I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to be egotistical when I say this, guys. I really, really don't. But I'm telling you, this property here, as much as stuff as I've captured, I would put it only myself, I personally myself would say this is one of the top 10 properties in the most active properties in the country right now today.
Oh yeah. I hear so much about it, and so many people have had some really intense encounters, including Pat and Joe. And
you heard me, Joe.
And Angie. Yeah. They've had a lot of I've heard I've seen videos, I believe, of some of the stuff that happened from them, and in the audio, and what's their friend's name that goes out and sings opera and stuff, and it's just fantastic, and they seem to have a lot of interaction with the Bigfoots out there. It's not like they're just going, like people just show up and they just sit around the fire. I mean, occasionally a Bigfoot will whoop. Like you guys are like interacting with them out there.
Yeah. basically, yeah,
Mhm.
that's what we're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
they're leaving her handprints everywhere. You know, I've got multiple handprints, even right up there at my door. You know, on my porch, even a little baby one has come up on my deck of my porch. You know, and a juvenile looking one down here at the bottom of the ramp. Had them handprints right there on my truck door, looking in the window of the truck doors. Um, there's probably other handprints I don't even seen yet, but the last time they knocked on my house, my wife was in the room, and it wasn't really hard knock, but it was one boom, 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 and I went looking for marks under the window because that's where I thought it come from up under that window. But when John and Miss Phyllis was here, I told them about what had happened. John went over looking, and right there at the corner of the house, you could actually see 3 mud spots where they hit the house at. You know, way up high, not down low where not even I could reach that high to where the last mark was. But you could tell it was red clay marks, you know, up high where you could tell they hit it at them 3 spots. And you know, they filmed it, so they got that, and they got that in their collection. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. You know what I'm impressed with is that piece of your porch railing that had
Yeah,
that greasy handprint on it. We got to tell the audience what you did with that, okay? Because you had actually cut out that section
yeah,
and wrapped it in saran wrap and everything
yep,
to preserve
yep,
it. And
yep,
and I got to see it in person. Tell
yep.
us about that.
Well, they come up. Stacy Brown. Well, I tell you, let me start from beginning. Miss Pat and them had just left no more than a week before Stacy Brown Jr. was coming over. Well, a day before Stacy and them was getting here, this handprint showed up on my porch rail. And I called Tyler up and was telling him about it because he's the one who's always out here researching. And he called Stacy, and you know how skeptical Stacy is. He is skeptical of everything, which is a great
He
thing,
is
but he is skeptical of everything.
love him to
But
death, but he is.
anyway, he come up, and he's collecting it, swabbing it up, trying to get DNA. He actually got a hair out of it as well. Well, while he was pouring the water, that purified water down on it, and it run off to the edge on the other board down here, you could actually see the other handprint. So basically, what it was doing, it had one hand up here, the other hand down here, and it looked like he's leaned over, and he's looking, and it looks like it's looking through my brother's window, and my brother's TV would be facing that window, and looked
Oh
like he was
man.
basically looking toward that TV, all the flashing lights that coming off the TV. And it looks like that's what he was actually doing. That's my opinion of what I
Yeah.
think it was doing, but yeah.
Which is creepy as heck,
Yeah.
man.
But
Knowing they're
after
watching through your
after
window.
he collected and all, I cut that piece of board off. Um, you know, um, Doug Hycheck wanted to get samples. I wanted me to send it to him. I told him as long as I get it back. He said, "Well, you can't send it back," so I wasn't going to send it to him if I was going to be it.
No.
So, like I said, I wrapped it up, and I ended up just giving it to Stacy. Stacy could build himself a museum, and he could put it in that for himself.
Well, it's a good piece of Flatrock Booger history right
That's
there.
right. That's
And
right.
I think it was smart. I thought it was smart of you to do that. Now it's got to be a pain in the butt to fix that fence or that railing on your back porch.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's you preserve some Bigfoot history, so
that's
it's
right.
worth it,
That's
right?
right. That's
And
right. That's
what's
right.
another 2x4 and some nails?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You'll see a picture of it. I got it in
Yeah,
that
we got
physical
it.
evidence folder. Yep. Yep.
We've got that. We do have a question in the chat, right quick. Hey,
Oh,
Don Moore. Don is asking, have game officials knocked on Flatrock's door demanding any evidence? He has to turn over to them?
no, I actually brought a game warden onto my property, and this is when we were first seeing them. and we didn't want them here. And they actually brought a drone onto my property without our knowledge, flying around this area I was showing him. And because there was this one Bigfoot that was following my mom around, and that was really something we didn't like. You know, that's dangerous. You know, we already thought they were dangerous, but following my mom around, no, that's you know, out of question. But I believe they come in after I told the game warden that they come in and eradicated that big brown one that was following my mom around, because we never seen him again after that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Be honest with you, I'm glad it happened, but with the 2 or 3 days of shooting, and the reason I say 2 or 3 days, I thought I only heard 2 days of shooting. Mr. Bobby, who's up front, said he heard 3 days of shooting, so I just say 2 or 3 days. But you know, with the gunfire tracing off through the woods in 2 or 3 days, and I don't know if they got just him or that whole family that was here at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
I just
it's a
don't
little
know.
it's a little
Yeah,
sad, but it's
yeah.
you know, it kind of it. I don't know, like the question comes into mind of like, you know, if the government knows about them, you
Mhm.
know, I've heard that they're actually, and I know this is really kind of dark, but you know, we heard MK Davis give his presentation at that thing that you and I were at,
Mhm.
that event, the East Alabama Bigfoot Town Hall. Amazing guys over there, Squatch Seekers of the South, y'all. What up,
Yep.
those guys? But we heard his presentation, and he was talking about the whole Patterson Gimlin film, and he was talking about Patty and potentially she being unalived, as we say on YouTube, and you know, and I had heard through some other people that were kind of in the know about all that. They're saying that when that they believe that Patty died, okay, and that there was actually like I think they said there was a picture of her or something, but they had taken this. Yeah, this is terrible. I probably shouldn't say this on air, but she looked like a human, and I think they panicked, is what I heard, was that she looked too human after she had died, and it was a matter of like, you know, it was almost like they had killed a human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something that was so close to it. So, but I know, I mean, you know, I don't know. It's there's just, I'm not saying there's a thin line between humans and Bigfoots by any means,
Mhm.
but some people think that there's not a big difference between them. You
Yeah.
know.
That in in the video folder of uh
Hmm.
that drone I filmed. It's
Hmm.
in the video folder. You can actually see that flashing light going around that nesting area. You know,
Oh, we
that
need to get
night
to
that
that.
yeah, that they come over here and brought that drone over without our knowledge, of course.
Oh, well, you know, I've actually heard also that, you know, there have been families that have had Bigfoots on their property, and they, in confidence, told a particular Bigfoot group who shall remain nameless. Okay. But a particular Bigfoot group, they called in to report that they had a Bigfoot on their property, they had a sighting. And the next thing they know, they have like black helicopters flying over their property, and I don't know if they came in and got rid of them or what, but it was quite intrusive, and they were very upset about that.
Yeah. Now I
So
can't say it was a black helicopter. It looked, you know, it was totally different color. But the only time I've seen a helicopter fly directly over my house, my brother had called the museum over in Georgia, and the day before, okay, that next morning we had a helicopter flying over our house, over my house. You know, he was actually circling. You could actually see the dude hanging out the door. Okay, that's how low they was, where I could actually see the dude hanging out the door, circling around.
oh,
He eventually come back and done a second time. You know, not knowing, you know, that this was all Bigfoot related. But anyway, I called David up. I asked my brother first, did he call anybody? He told me what. That's when he called the museum. So I called the museum right afterwards, right after that second turn come around. And I started talking to David, and I kind of cursed him, because I thought it was him who sent that helicopter out here.
Oh yeah.
And he promised me it was not him. So if it wasn't him, I told him somebody's listening to your conversations over the phone because somebody's in a helicopter out here flying directly over my house, circling, flying off down the river, and then came right back and did it again. That ain't coincidental. I'm sorry, it's not.
No.
But that's what happened.
Yeah. I remember seeing a video. I had a friend of mine who sent me a thermal, it's actually a thermal video. And he asked me to never share it out. And I don't know what I did with it. I couldn't find it today if I looked for it. I did look for it. I couldn't find it. But it was a video of a helicopter. It was like military or something. And they were chasing down a Bigfoot, basically. And he told me that I didn't see that part where they actually took it out. You know what I mean? But I saw where they were chasing it down. And then it was so wild because years later, fast forward years later to just a couple of months ago, that same video that I saw is making the rounds on social media right now.
I've seen that video. Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, but that was more of like a military operation. Maybe it was potentially like something that had gotten out of hand. They say that sometimes this is what I've been told as far as like dogmen go and Bigfoots go. If there's some that are problematic, they do go after them and they take care of them. Critter control, as we call it over here.
Yep.
On the Cryptid Hunters channel. Okay. So critter control.
Yep.
So, but man, okay. Well, we do have a lot of pictures and videos and stuff to show. Should we just start showing some pictures and things today? And you can kind of walk us through it all. And let's just do it. I'm going to okay. Let's hope this works over here. I've got it pulled up. And I'm going to present the screen. And we'll start off with some of the pictures. Okay. And then we'll go into some of the videos and then some of the audio if you'd like. We'll do that next.
Whichever one you want.
Okay. Some of these pictures will put it into perspective as far as, where everybody can see. Hold on one second. It's saying that I can't share my screen. I may have to log out and back in on this computer. Okay, here we go. But it'll put it into perspective. Here we go. It's coming. As to what it looks like on your property, the window that the Bigfoot was looking in, and all that jazz.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. It's coming up. It's a little slow, but it's here. Okay, let me scroll down. Let's start at the first one. Hold on one moment.
It's blue, Patrick.
What is Patrick asking?
Said remote view in my shirt.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the first picture right here.
Yep.
And so explain to us, is this in your yard?
That's in our yard. I took this picture off my mom's back porch, and that's the nesting area that we kept seeing them in right there. That's where they was watching us from. They can actually see us from my mom's back porch to my back door, to the left side of the picture. If you go left, that'd be going toward my back door. But looking straight on is at my mom's back porch. But that's where we always seen them at, right in there. And that little green arrow right there, that vine that goes across, remember that vine? That's a 7.5 foot mark right there. Remember that vine. Okay,
7.5 feet. That's pretty tall right there. All right, let's go to the next picture. Okay, let me scroll back up. I'm a little slow today. Sorry. Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, if you can, zoom in on that back window if you can, or on that back side of the house right there.
Okay. That way they can see. That's a little too much. Okay, let me go. That's a little too much. Right?
You're doing good. Just move it over a little bit more.
Move it over this way?
Yeah.
Up or down?
Zoom right on in. You just zoom right on in on him. There you go.
Like that.
Yep. All right. Okay. Whatever that is, we set up a game camera because we know they was coming around my mom's house right there. So I set up a old model game camera that don't got IR. It's just a flash. And that one night, I pulled the next day I pulled the card out, and we see that looking in my mom's window. If you'll notice, the head is weird shaped. It has no hair on its body right there. You can see the arm right there. You can see down a little bit of hair down his backbone right here.
Mm-hmm.
His from his tail down, from his butt down, is all hairy. So whatever that thing is right there, looking in my mom's window, we do not know. But if you'll go scroll down a little further down, right on the right side of that little flash, where that flash is, you'll
Right
see
here.
a Bigfoot face right there. See that little light right there
Right
by
here.
the trailer? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
right there is that Bigfoot face right there.
Oh man. So there could have been multiple Bigfoots looking in
Yeah,
that window right there.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man,
Now
that's
we don't know
creepy.
what that one thing is that's looking in the window that's hairless up top,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that's a Bigfoot face down there at that thing's knees.
Wow. That's pretty wild. And so
Yeah,
they sit there and they just kind of watch y'all are their entertainment, apparently.
more or less.
Yeah. Okay. Woo wee. And I guess you heard me in the beginning of the show. I said I'm a proponent of blinds and curtains at night because living up here in North Georgia, we have a lot of Bigfoots around where I live. Actually, my cousin has some on his property. He lives down the road from us,
Mm-hmm.
and you just never know what's looking in your windows at night.
Yeah,
But
that's right. You don't.
yeah, you just don't. You don't. Okay, that's a great picture. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, what are we looking at here? Let's see. I'll try to zoom it in.
Yeah.
Oh, I see some eyes. Are those the
Yeah,
eyes right here?
Yeah, there's two of them right there.
Oh my gosh.
I took that out my window when I was staying in my RV. That's just right across the driveway. They're just looking
Is that
right at
is that a face right there too, where my cursor is? That looks like a nose. Is that a face?
Where's your cursor?
Right here. Look where my cursor is.
Oh
moving
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
that's a face. Yeah.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
looks like two eyes right there, two shining
Yeah.
eyes right there.
Yeah, and the wide
Man.
nose. You can see the wide nose.
Yeah, you can
and
see
then
the
right
face.
beside him, you'll see the other one with two eyes.
My goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness. They just like watching. They're probably. Or do you think they're maybe waiting until y'all go to bed so they can come get some dog food or something?
I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
They're just waiting for y'all to go to bed. It's eating time out there. Okay, here's another one. Let me zoom in and move up a little bit. Now you've got a blue arrow going to this one.
Yeah, that's them children I was telling you about. That was
Oh, I
in
see
that
the little ones.
first family group. And them are the three children that's in that whole family. I mean, that's just a cut out of the whole family group. But yeah, you can see three children right there, back there in the woods. Just watching.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out watching. Yeah,
y'all are definitely their entertainment. They're just learning what to do when they get bigger. Now, this is one of my favorite pictures that you have right here. Okay, tell us what's going on here.
All right.
And what are we looking at?
That's me, my pastor, and his son. We were desperately trying to seek help at this time. So he was a researcher that was in our town, and he came over. I was playing him some audios in my in the trailer that I'm in right now that just got moved onto the property. And we started come out the door. We shined the light to where this eye shine is, but we didn't see nothing. But I also had a trail camera sitting on a hill on this far end of the trailer. And I thought that was taking a picture of us, but it caught that big brownie standing right there behind us. You can actually see the eye shine of him right there behind us. He's no more than 20 feet behind us.
I mean, everybody can see it, but I'll put my cursor around right here. Those are the eyes. Look how big that is compared to these grown men right there, y'all. I'm just saying, because there's Flatrock. That's you and your pastor right there, right?
That's me
y'all.
and pastor, yep.
And then that's the Bigfoot standing in the background right there with those eyes. Look how big the eyes are spread apart.
And we are actually toting rifles. You know, 'cause that's how bad it was getting. We toted rifles everywhere we went at this time.
Really?
Yeah.
My goodness, that's a great capture right there. I've always thought this is one of the best pictures right here, because it shows the size range,
Yeah.
the size difference with humans. This is with humans and a Bigfoot in the same picture together. That's rare.
That's
It
very
really
rare.
is rare.
Mhm.
You don't get a whole lot. I've not seen a lot of pictures like this before. I love it. And it's also terrifying. What happened after this picture that night? Did y'all didn't know that it was behind
We
you?
never knew it was there. I mean, we walked over to the campfire and sit around. Now there was a whistle come from over here. You know, one of them, real loud whistles, and everybody jumped up, was looking that way, but your senses told you, hey, don't look toward that whistle. Look at this block over here that was on this side of us, and that's what I did. I didn't. I glanced this way, but my focus was over here on this other side.
Oh yeah, they're always trying to bait and switch. That's
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah.
It's always a bait and switch. Anytime we have something that happens over here, I tell everybody, okay, you look there, I look there, you look there, okay,
Yeah.
because they're just tricking you
Yeah.
to make you look away. They're smart, but we're smart too. Okay, we're smart. Most of us are kind of smart. Okay, we try to be. Wendell has a question real quick. He wants to know, Flatrock, did you send me the picture of the one in the tree that he got from your video?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I had to ask because I saw it in the chat. So,
Well, no, I always try to hold on things for a while. Before even before I put audio out, I always hold on to it for at least 6 months, sending it out to people. Letting them listen to it and get their feedback on it, because I just don't want to put something up and right off the bat. I never do. I've always waited. But I see what you're talking about in that, what you cut out of that video, though.
oh, yeah. Angelique wants to know, could you smell it? Could you smell the Bigfoot out there?
No. I've only smelled this. I only smelled a Bigfoot twice. Once down the path here to a high grassy area, which some of the people in chat knows what I'm talking about. I smelled a rotten dead thing back there. We went looking to see what was dead. We never could find it. And the other place was in North Georgia, over at Copper Creek.
Oh yeah, yeah. We don't always smell Bigfoots either when we're out in the field. They'll be in the environment, but we don't always smell them. Usually, when we smell them, it's when we don't see them at all.
Yep.
Which is kind of odd too. But thank you for sharing this picture with us. I just love this one. I love all of them, but this is my favorite right here. One of my favorites. And so that wasn't that long ago. It was about 5-6 years ago when this happened. It says 2019.
September 2nd, 2019.
Oh my
at
goodness.
9:26 p.m.
That's pretty early too for a Bigfoot to be out.
Yeah.
Like you think they'd be out later.
Well, that's the one that was coming out during the daytime. He didn't mind showing himself at all. Did not mind showing himself at all, which you'll see him in a couple other pictures coming up.
Oh my gosh. What is the general time where do they have, you said that they're out there 24/7 pretty much, but is there like a time during the night or whenever when they're more active?
I've caught them from right before dark till right before daylight. I mean, I got a trail cam photo, but it's really, really blurry though. One when it got the lens had fogged up, and you could see it, the hairy part of his arm going by. But I don't never show that picture.
Oh wow!
This one here, you see a little green arrow pointing at him. He was solid black. He's actually the first one I ever seen. I caught him a week or so later in that nesting area. But if you notice the vine right there at the 7.5 foot mark, you can see how much bigger he is in that 7.5 foot mark.
Man, so these are some big uns. Call them big uns.
That one was about 10 foot plus.
Oh my gosh! Okay, let's go to the next one.
But you see how dark he is, though? How black?
Oh, yeah.
How solid black he is? He is.
Let me go back.
Solid black.
Yeah, that's how a lot of these creatures, I'm going to say creatures, critters, whatever, a lot, they're solid black. And a lot of times you just see their teeth or their eyes.
I
Not
mean,
even their eyes, it's their teeth usually.
Yeah, you can see that arrow. The arrow's pointing right at his head. You know, you see his big black on shoulders there, and you see his legs going down through past the down towards the ground.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man. Well, it's good camouflage at night.
Yeah,
It's definitely good camouflage. And so that's really cool that you even were able to get a picture.
Yeah, they just look like silhouettes in the trees. And this is
Like
daytime
shadows.
now. Yeah, like shadows. And
Now-
that's a whole family group with them 3 kids that was in it. You can actually see the 3 kids down there, but the mama's right there at the tree. You can actually see her hand in there. And the juvenile is on the left side of the picture. You can actually see his head. He's peeking out these vines. You see his head barely sticking out there.
I'll be.
Yeah, that's a whole family group. That's the first family group. I took that picture right out my back door.
I was going to ask you, how did you get a picture? How if they knew that you were taking their pictures, they may hide a little better.
I opened up the door, snapped the picture, come right back in.
Jump back in. Okay. That's pretty smart. Okay, let's see. All right, here's some more pictures right here. More. This is their favorite spot. I mean, is this just where they kind of hang out? And
That's where they hang out. Yep.
that's just their spot right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't see the one that's in the middle right there. You can actually see his face sticking out there. But the one right there at the vine line, you can see his head sticking out past that little limb. He was a 9-footer there.
Oh my goodness.
You know, he just got his head sticking out, and that's when I seen him when he stuck his head out, and that's when I snapped that picture. But I didn't know about that one down below, you know, where that blue arrow pointing at.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Okay, do you think these are some of the same ones over and over again, like in some of these pictures, or no?
Nope.
They're all different.
They're all different.
Okay, let's get the next picture. Here's more. Let's see. Trying to zoom in so everybody can see better.
That's the second family group right there. Same area, same trees, but you can see how they're bunched up in there. You see one up top, which it looks like a kid, ugly kid. There's a mama and 3 kids in that middle section, and then there's that juvenile at the lower level.
Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh!
You see them all?
Yeah, they just like to sit there and hide and just stare at you guys. That's a little creepy, Flatrock. I'm just saying it's a little creepy, but it's also pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's see. Let's get this next picture here. But wait, there's more. Did you? So you were taking these pictures over years, right? I mean, or is this okay?
That's the juvenile that was in that picture you just showed, but that's the juvenile in there.
Okay.
You can actually see his eyeball really, really good.
Oh yeah. Do you think these are only Bigfoots? Have you ever seen any Dogman or any other kind of weird cryptids out there?
No, ma'am. I ain't never seen a Dogman. Nope, sure ain't.
I'll be okay. This right here is a really cool picture too, actually.
Yeah.
I like this one. This is cool.
Now, y'all remember, I was just telling you how we hearing people walking away from us. Well, see, that's the picture of the light that I had back in the woods, a floodlight back pointing toward the woods. And if you look between them trees, you'll see a face there.
Here's one right here.
It still looks human.
Yeah, it
does not look like an ape. It looks human.
Yeah.
And at this time, we still thought it was humans back there, but that's 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning in the backwoods of Alabama. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think you may have more than just. This is me personally, because I remember that I had done a remote viewing target for Matt. After that, they had an incident out there with some cryptid activity, and he just gave me. I remember this. I'm not going to get into detail about it too much, but but it was. I mean, he gave me the coordinates of like the coordinates to like the location where he was. I remember that. And I had done a remote viewing tour. He didn't tell me anything about it. I didn't know anything that had happened. And I think that there was something else there. I don't know if it was just Bigfoot. I thought there's some other kind of creature might have been out there too.
Yeah.
That was similar to might have been a Bigfoot, but it looked more human to me. It's kind of human. It's like a human animal hybrid.
Yeah, that looks just like a human kid right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a human kid. But,
yeah.
Yo.
That's pretty interesting captures here for sure. Okay, let's see. We've got a lot of pictures, y'all. Okay, what are we looking at here, Flatrock? What is this one?
I took another picture out my back door, but over toward this nesting area, just the back side of that nesting area from what the second family group was in, where basically where all of them look at it. You're looking at the back side of it.
Uh-huh.
But I seen that one sticking his head out right there, grabbing something toward the ground. I snapped a picture on him. You can see him right there between them two trees.
Is this it right here? Right there where my cursor is? Can you see where my cursor is? Where that black, and right in the smack dab in the middle?
Right dab in the middle. Yep,
yeah,
right there.
Yep. I can see that. Man.
Yep. You can actually see a space. You know, if you close in on it, you can see a space real good.
Let's zoom in. I don't know if the audience can see this, but I'm going to look. Ooh-wee. Well, that's real interesting.
There you see his nose, his mouth, and his eye right there. His profile right there.
My goodness. My goodness. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, there's another one. Is this the same area? Same location?
Yeah, that's in front of my RV where them little two juveniles, but off to the left some, if you're looking square on it. If you look right there in those bushes, you'll see a face sticking out. You can actually see that thing's nose flaring right there. And what it's doing, Mr. Bobby had come out of my mom's house and just passed it. And I got this on video. This one's on video. But he's only about 10 foot to the left of this picture right here. And he's on his phone. And he didn't even know that was right there beside him. Didn't even know it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's actually two of them that I know it's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them's right in behind that the limbs where you can't see his face. It's like he's camouflaged in there, but you could actually see the outline of him if you look really, really good, you know. But we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, we got more. All right, this looks like this is a daytime photo right here. Let me pull this up. Let's zoom in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, zoom in straight to the middle. You'll see old Big Brownie. Yeah, you'll see old Big Brownie right there. He's look. All right, you'll see my mom's trailer right there. Okay, all right, stop right there and look right.
That's the trailer.
There. Yep. Look right there on to the left of that tree. Look left of that tree, and you'll see him standing right there behind these trees.
Is it right here where I'm doing my cursor?
Keep coming. Let's see, right there. Right here.
Yeah, it looks like it right there.
No, a little further over. A little further. Right there. You got right there. Right up in there. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Oh, cool. Oh my goodness. So you and your mom are pretty close to each other then. So y'all aren't. I mean, you could throw a rock and hit her place.
Yeah.
Basically, don't hit your mama. I'm just saying you could hit her house.
That's that big brown one that they come in. I believe they've eradicated, but that's him right there.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wonder what do you reckon they do with the bodies if they come in and take them out of there? The critter control shows up.
I don't know. I really, really don't.
I know we'd have to speculate, right? Speculate. Maybe take them to a lab or something. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of program or something. There's got to be something. That's just that's my conspiracy. Okay, theory.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the next picture.
Yeah, the next picture is the same thing, but from my window view, you'll see the
same area.
Original. You'll see the original picture of it. So
Okay.
you looking out my window, you can actually see he's still standing. You know, he's standing right there. But it's a security camera footage, is what it is. But I had one of them love bugs flying in front of the camera, which got
Uh-huh.
the camera to take which actually got that thing on camera. If it wasn't for that bug going in front of the camera, I don't think I'd have caught that thing over there.
Oh, so it has like a motion sensor on it?
Yeah,
Motion
yeah,
sensor. Oh,
yeah.
okay,
But
cool.
that's my backyard right there. That's my backyard.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's pretty wooded right there. That's pretty
Yeah.
dense.
Oh yeah, we're
Okay.
in very dense woods.
Okay. Now this is from 2015. This picture right here.
No, it's not 2015.
Oh, it's not?
That camera went the inner battery died
Oh,
out,
okay. I get
so it didn't keep time no more.
gotcha. Gotcha. Mine
Now,
does that too.
yeah. Anyway, right here at this a tree,
Right here
right
where my cursor
above.
is.
Let's see. Let me see your cursor.
Right here. Is it moving right there? Can you see it? Is
No,
that
yeah.
it?
Come on over. Come on over. Come on over. Come
To the
on. Come
middle?
on. Yeah, over here on
Over
your
there.
left side. Right, a little bit more, right there.
Right here? This one?
Yep, that's where he
Okay.
is.
Is it behind
Anyway,
it?
you'll
Okay.
see I got a closer up picture of it. You'll get to it, but that's the
Okay.
original picture. And
Okay.
then you'll see the next picture that was taken afterwards as a before and after. And you'll
Oh, is
actually
that a
see
deer?
he's not there in that tree area no more. But then I
Oh, okay.
show you a comparison picture of me and
Yeah.
it standing in the same spot.
Oh, okay. You got a deer right there.
Yeah. And be just right of that deer is where it was.
Are those okay? I thought I saw some eye shine back there. Maybe not. Okay. Well, this is the next picture that came up. That's the next picture of Flatrock.
Yeah, we get to it. But right
Okay.
there's that juvenile that was barely sticking his head out of the vines. Now this is
Hmm.
what Miss John and Miss Phyllis was talking about when they said they seen one out my back door looking through the vines. And this is exactly what they said they saw right here. Just one sticking his head through the cut through vines looking. And basically that's what you see here, just that one barely sticking his head out of the vines and just looking.
Through the
Just
kudzu, man. We've got so
through the
much
cut
kudzu in
through.
Georgia too.
Yep.
Gosh,
Yep.
we got yeah. Unless you got goats, you're gonna have a lot of kudzu everywhere
Yep.
around Georgia.
Yep.
Okay, I see. Oh, okay, I see you. Is that you right there?
That's me. And that's the
Okay.
same picture. And if you'll notice I put the red mark in the same spot of the trees. That way you could actually tell the difference in the size between me and it.
Oh my goodness. That is, yeah.
You
How
see?
tall are you, Flat Rock? You're about 6 feet something.
No, I'm about 5'8". I've
You're
shrunk
five
a
eight.
couple.
I thought you
Yeah,
were.
I shrunk a couple inches.
Okay. Well, you're about my height, or
Yeah,
maybe an inch bigger. Okay,
yeah,
inch taller.
yeah.
That's a couple feet taller than you right there.
Oh
That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
big.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, thank you. That's good. That's a good size comparison right there.
yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. We have so many pictures and stuff here, y'all. Okay. And let me see. Let me try to zoom in.
All right. This one
Oh,
was
I see a
taken.
blue arrow.
Yeah, this one was taken late at night, and you can tell he's back in that shadows of the woods. But you can actually see the thickness of that one right there, and the conical head. You can actually see the eyes of him, but mainly the focus is this shoulder right here. The
Yeah, I can
thickness
see it.
from the shoulder, from the neck down, from the head to the shoulder, just thick.
Right
Just
there.
broad.
Oops, y'all can't see that. Hold
Yeah.
on. Right here. That
Yeah,
line. That's a sexy line right there. I'm just kidding.
yeah. Yeah,
Right there going down his neck.
if you can zoom in on him,
Let's zoom in.
yeah, zoom
And
in
then
right
go
on top of that
up.
thing. If he'll zoom in. I mean, it was a late afternoon camera. Day. Yeah, move down. There you go.
Let's go
Right there. There he is
like
right
that.
there.
Okay. Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. They're stalkers, Flatrock.
Human face.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah. It's your hairy stalker. Is what
Yeah,
that is.
yeah. But
Your stalker friend.
that's also in my backyard right there.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Okay, we got one more. We got one more in this group right here. Is this a map of your property right here?
No, I'll let you. I'll tell you about that. But
Okay.
it is my property is in that map. But that blue mark right there is about 500 yards from my back door. Okay, well, my front door. Reported by a hunter in 2022. This is from Bigfoot mapping project site.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If you go down,
Mhm.
Miss Jessica, if you go down, I'll show you where my house is.
Okay. Let me zoom back out.
Yeah, scroll down. I'm at the almost at the bottom. Keep on going.
The very
Yeah,
bottom.
you can actually see our property right there.
All right, that's as
But
far as it'll go down, but I'll zoom
yeah,
in.
all right. Now zoom in on the very bottom of the opening part right here. But that's the
Okay.
woods around my house right there.
Oh,
My
okay.
house is on the bottom of this opening right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right up here in the opening. Yep, right there. You can actually see the top of my trailer right there. Then you'll see two RVs in front of my trailer.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Well, so you are surrounded by deep, dense forest right there. Deep, dense forest.
Yep.
Wow. What is the temperature like down there? Now are you down in South Alabama? Is that where you are?
I'm in
Near
South
Florida?
Alabama. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in South Alabama. For the rest of this month, we're gonna be in the feel like over 100 degrees.
Oh man, it was a scorcher here in Georgia today. It was miserable. It was so hot and humid down here. Okay. All right, so that's all that group of pictures. Let's
And see, I didn't even report that. I ain't never reported any of my sightings, but that was found on the Bigfoot mapping project right there.
So that means that other people have been spotting Bigfoots in your area that have reported them.
Yeah. There's Class A sightings on the BFRO site at the river, at the bridges, at both bridges of the Sapoga River. Class A sightings. Just right there.
Well, okay. My computer is a little slow, but it's getting there. Okay, I'm trying to get back out of here. You have some audio files. Okay, I was listening to the audio files earlier, and you had one that was like of a dog getting attacked or something. That was sad.
Yeah.
But tell me about that. Maybe the audience might not want to hear that, but we can talk about it. Yeah, because it made me sad.
That's a canine being killed. Yeah.
Okay.
That was right outside, loud and in person. Yeah. It's called canine kill. Yeah. You could actually hear a canine being killed and it being slammed into a tree. That's how it gets out here.
That's really sad.
Well, I mean, you think you hear that, and then you wonder about your brother's dog when it happened. Because that happened soon after my brother's dog went missing. So and we know it wasn't my brother's dog, but being so close in relative time, when that happened, it just makes you think: is that what they did to my brother's dog?
Oh yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah.
That's very sad. I mean, I've heard plenty of stories of. I think that they don't like the dogs giving their location away or something, and so when the dogs bark at the Bigfoots, they just get rid of them. And, that's just sad, terrible. Let's take a quick commercial break real quick because I want to thank Area 51 for these super stickers. Okay, thank you, Juan, for your support. He said, "Do not hit your mom." That must have been when I was saying, "Don't hit your mom." You could throw a rock at your mom's house, okay, but don't hit your mom. Okay, is what he was saying. And thank you for the other super sticker too, Juan. I appreciate you so much. And also, Andrew and Gnomes Trucking Express. Thank you, Andrew. He said, "I'm here for the female Bigfoot beauty pageant." Oh my gosh, you're at the wrong channel. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Andrew. That was sweet of you. I appreciate you. And I'd like to see a Bigfoot beauty pageant too. That would be interesting. And Maureen too. Thank you for that super sticker. Thank you for your support. And those are awesome pictures. They are. We're not done. We have more. Flatrock, what is this? A hair sample?
Yes,
What is
that's
this a
a hair
picture of?
sample. All right. I had some people over here from Louisiana, him and his son, and we went out looking through the woods, and we come across a hut, an igloo-like hut. Wasn't big, but it was a nice hut. Had a door. We found a footprint there. They casted that. So they did what they did, document all that stuff. Come home. Well, a friend of mine who's had a daytime sighting here, he wanted to come back over. I told him, well, I tell you what, bring a car dustbuster with you. I didn't tell him why. I just told him to bring one with him. So he brought one, and we went back there to the hut, and we used that dustbuster to go across the bottom inside that little hut and see if we can't pull out any hair out of there off the floor. Well, that blacker hair is his, okay? That clear hair right there is what we pulled off the ground inside that hut.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
That's kind of some of the hair samples that my team's taken. My friend Keith, who's a wildlife biologist, has done some studying of these hairs, of these samples that we've gotten, and they seem to have some kind of. They're almost. I don't want to say
Oh, yeah.
transparent. They have like
Yeah,
chlorophyll in them or something.
yeah,
It's almost like a plant base or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
It's weird,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It is. But that dark one's his hair, and that clear one, we pulled that right out of that, out of that hut. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, that was smart of y'all to think of it to go look for some hair samples and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and to come across that. That's pretty
yeah.
cool. That's
Mm-hmm.
really cool.
Now, we
Okay.
also found, that day, we also found a huge amount of hair off to the back before from the road before you get to the hut, close to the road. It had looked like something had laid down on the ground and just scratching his back and left a whole wad of hair laid out on the ground. A whole wad. I think I got a picture of that in there, of some of it.
Oh, cool. Let's look. Let's look. See what all we got. Greg House is in the house. What's up, Greg? Thank you for being here.
But yeah, this is some of my physical evidence that I've got over time. Yeah.
Oh, that looks like a handprint.
That's a handprint. That's actually the first handprint that I ever got. That was on my passenger side door. The other hand actually grabbed the doorknob on my truck.
I think that's one of the next pictures we're gonna look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. They're dirty, man. These Bigfoots, they just stay greasy and dirty, don't they?
Yeah.
Seems like it. Uh,
That's where he grabbed my doorknob right there.
so do you think they got into your truck?
Well, what they did, they grabbed the doorknob, other hands here. My window was halfway down, and I believe they was looking in the window to see if there was any leftover food in there. A couple of McDonald's hamburgers.
Oh God, they're always looking for food.
Wendy's Junior Bacons.
Oh, a JBC, man. I could not resist a JBC if I found one in your truck either. Okay. Oh man, he was looking for that biggie bag. That's what he was looking for. Everybody knows about them biggie bags. Oh yeah, and it's a biggie bag. Get it? I'm just.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even think about that before I said it. So those are the two handprints right there, side by side.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then I think the next one is both of them. Yeah, both of them. Shows
That's
them
pretty cool.
where they were.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of footprints in your yard?
Yes and no. You'll see a video of that one. That one was left. I filmed one right here out my window with a baby monitoring camera, and it had left that footprint right back here in the corner of the backyard. And so I documented it. I still thought it was a bear from back then. Even measuring out that track, I still thought it was a bear track, but it ended up not being a bear.
No, it's Bigfoot. It's
Yeah.
Bigfoot. Man, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty. Those are some good toe indentions right there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next picture. What is this? Is this your fire pit? Did they go and tear it up?
That's my fire pit. Yeah. That's it. You see how they moved all that trash up against the wall to get to the bottom of that pit to get that food that was down there.
Look at that grease.
Yep.
Oh man. They could at least kind of put it back, maybe. I don't know. I don't guess they got manners.
You can actually see the stick right below that big stick sticking out. There's a stick right below that point of that other stick where it actually drove down into it, holding all that trash back up against the wall of that fire pit. It was neat. It was neat the way they did that. It really is.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can see how you'd think that these could be people out there. Just like humans.
Yeah.
Just messy, dirty humans.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what they could be, but it's not. Like, chances are it's not. Okay, let's go to the next picture. Is this some of the hair y'all got out there?
Yes, ma'am. That's some of it right there. Now, I'm not calling that Bigfoot hair, but that is long 3, 4, and 5 inch hair right there, all wadded up, matted. That's the word I'm looking for. It's matted up hair. You know,
Like
we don't have.
dreadlocks.
I mean, somebody asked if that was wolf hair. We don't have wolves over here. You know, it's definitely not coyote hair. It's just matted up hair that looked like something huge rubbed across the ground. You know, like it's rubbing all its hair, shed hair off on the ground. That's what it looked like, that whole big old pile. And that's only a portion of the hair. A portion.
Oh my gosh. It's almost like it was losing its hair or something, or maybe
maybe it was
itching.
like it was shedding its old hair. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is interesting. That is really interesting. Okay. So there's that one. Sorry, it takes me a minute to get these pictures to change on. I'm sorry. Here's the railing, right? This is the rail.
That'd be the railing of the that is actually the bottom hand of the rail. See how it put his hand down the bottom down there? It's actually like the hand's like this right here. You know, see the fingers? Looks like skeleton fingers there. But you know, that was one of them's hand. You'll see the other one in a minute. You can't bypass that one up top. That one up top is amazing.
It's a really good one for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next picture. See, here's another shot. Let me blow it up a little bit. Is that Boo right there? That's Boo, isn't it?
That's Boo. Now that's actually the baby. That's actually the baby print, but you can actually see where it jumped up on my rail. You can actually see the heel print right there above that hand.
Oh yeah, I've seen the real thing in person. After you cut you cut that piece out. It's a different one.
This is a different one. This was right up on my deck. I'm standing on my deck right now, not on the ramp, but on my deck, right outside my front door. And that's where that was. That's a little bitty one. I mean, that might be a third of my hand. Right
oh my
there.
gosh. So a little one, a kid.
Little bitty one. I think there's a picture there with my hand right there beside it, and you can actually see how small that hand is right there.
Okay, let's go to the next picture. Bigfoot Dwarf says, could be a hippie in your backyard, is what he said.
They hippies. Yeah, they hippies.
Amanda says that it's gross. Maybe we should leave them some soap and deodorant, if you go gifting.
It is right there. My hand compared to it.
Oh, gosh, it is little. That is tiny.
That is tiny.
Yeah, it's good to have a reference point beside it with your hand right there.
Yep. Now imagine you've got a baby creature up on your porch, no more than 3 foot from your front door. Leaving something like that.
Oh my God.
That is cool as heck.
That is really cool. That is really cool. I mean, are the handprints still there today? Because I know that some people say that they're so greasy they don't ever go away.
Uh, that one ain't, but the board I gave Stacy, I guarantee
Mhm.
you it's still there. Cause sometimes you gotta re-wet the boards
Mhm.
for that grease to actually show itself again.
Oh,
But
okay.
being on a board, it soaks down into that board. I'm sure.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it stayed there for quite a few months. That it did.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have okay. So my buddy Adolf, who's usually in the chat, he lives out in California, and he came on the show, and they had an incident out in the mountains in California a long time ago, back in the I don't know if it was the 90s or early 2000s. I can't remember. But he had a handprint after all this was said and done, like possible ET activity, maybe even a Bigfoot out there, and he had a handprint on the hood of his Toyota truck, his
Hmm.
4Runner, and it was almost kind of greasy, and he said that, and we looked at pictures of this thing. It was really odd, but it would not come off. I mean, as
Yep.
much as he washed his truck and everything, he could not. I don't know if he ever got that handprint off. I think he said it stayed on there for a long time, but it was just kind of greasy. So,
Yep. Now
um,
this one, that's Lucas's hands. Over the past week, I kept hearing large limbs being snapped, and
mhm.
Lucas went back there in the woods and snapped that picture, of a fresh broke limb, a little
Oh yeah,
tree sapling being snapped.
those are not easy to snap.
No.
Human wise, it's hard to. I mean, wood is heavy, y'all. Okay, wood is heavy.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know. I used to have to load wood in the house for our fireplace and stuff, and it's wood is just heavy, and to bend a tree or to snap it like that, even that big around,
Yeah.
that's not. I'm not gonna say it's not humanly possible, but it's dang near impossible. I
Yeah.
mean, to do that. Yeah. Wow. Do you get a lot of like stick structures in your property, like X's and tree bends and stuff like that?
They are out here. I don't look for those, but they are out here. Yeah, I've seen the teepees, the blinds, the where they made like little layout areas like deer do. Deer make a bed. Sometimes, and you see those. But again, I said deer. It could be deer doing that, not just
Yeah.
them. So, you know,
Yes. It's not always Bigfoot. I,
that,
I,
that
I totally know that. It's
yeah.
definitely not always. And there's some people, everything to them, like, everything's Bigfoot. Okay. Some of the guys on our team, we always joke around about how, well, if you're going out there with a UFO group, everything's going to be a UFO. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out with people looking for Dogman, everything's going to be a Dogman.
Yep.
But it just depends on who you're out there with. But just keep an open mind. We
Yeah.
got to keep an open mind about stuff. And
Always
I'm
gotta
always
keep open mind.
yeah, and weather will do this kind of stuff too. You know what I mean? So, um, and people for years have always sent me pictures of like what they think are like Bigfoot nests and beds and
It,
stuff, but really it's just a debris hut that somebody made.
yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
pointing toward the creek, Roger.
Oh yeah, Roger's question just for the podcasting platform people. If y'all are listening on podcasts, he says Bigfoot hides because they have no pants. Leave them boxers and sweatpants as gifts. Thank you, Roger. Yes, we're going to leave them deodorant, sweatpants, and some perfume. Okay. And some
Going
shampoo.
call.
That is too funny. All right, let's go to the next picture. Let's see, because we got a few more here. Let's see what else we got. All right, that's another print of that. Is this another handprint? Is this the one that I've seen that
That's
you
the one
cut?
you're saying. Yep. That's the one you're saying. Yep. That's the one.
This is the one that Stacy Brown Jr. has now.
Yep. That's the one Stacy's got now. Yep.
It was super greasy.
Yeah. I mean, its fingers are actually goes on the back. Where the fingers end right there on that edge, that's only the first knuckle of that creature. Its fingers go down the other side of that board right there.
I
So
mean, that's
yeah,
massive.
yeah,
That's massive compared to your hand. It
yeah,
really is. That's
yeah.
wild.
And look, I mean, just look how long the palm is of that thing. that palm is long, and you got that thumb that curls out at the bottom like this right here. It's a really cool find. But that handprint showed up no more than a week after my best friends left. Pat, Joe, Bud, Angie, and Jody. I believe Jody was over here at this time.
Oh, Jody. That's who I couldn't remember her name. Yes,
Yeah.
Jody. She's really sweet. I met her. I met all them for the first time up at the East Tennessee Squatch out with Manimal research, and that was a fun trip. That was a fun trip up there. I had a really good time with y'all. Okay, let's see. Let's get the next picture here. We just got a couple more. That I just want to show you. Y'all got to see how greasy this is, and this is thick. This is like thick grease, Flatrock. Super thick and oily, right there.
But you see how that thumb goes out there, just way down there, and it comes up, like a long old thumb, long curled thumb. So,
it's almost kind of ape-like, like primate-like.
Yeah, almost primate-like. Yep.
So this, do you think this would be more the primate type of the Bigfoot you got out there?
I do. That I do.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, there's another footprint. Is that a footprint?
Yep, that's
Oh yeah.
On a video. There's a video you'll have of one crossing my yard. Well, it's actually two of them, but that's the smaller one's footprint there. It's actually the first two prints that we had found out here by the little stream where it walked down in there. The next picture is the bigger creature that you actually see walk through the yard. You'll see the footprint of it, but that's just one of the smaller creatures. Like a juvenile or something.
Are those toes at the top right there? They're all spread out crazy.
That's the big hourglass footprint right there.
Wow, that is wild. Now, did you step right there beside it?
I stepped right there to give it reference. Yep.
Oh yeah. Yep. I mean, look at how those toes are spread. That's some toe spread right there.
Yep.
That's a great shot, Flatrock. That's a great one right there.
Yep.
I can appreciate that.
That smaller one was just to the left of this one.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. I've got one more. I think I've got one more of these. Yeah, here we go. This is another one of those pictures of your fire pit, I think. Right there. Is that the fire pit? Is that the same fire pit picture from earlier?
Yeah, that's the same picture. I just pointing out the stick right there that's holding back all the trash.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Okay. All right. Well, maybe we can go. Maybe we can show a couple of these videos. Okay. Let's see if I can go back to. I think we show most of the pictures. And now, if my computer will go, here we go. Okay, we've got. All right. Those are suggested. Hold on one second. Well, okay. Physical evidence. I think we've already looked at that. I don't know.
Yeah, you just looked at physical. You just went through physical. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure which ones these are here. Let's see. Okay, we got EVPs. We have grunts and howls, hit the house, howls. So these are all audio files. Should we listen to these?
Yeah, you can listen to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Grunts and howls, EVPs. Where it says hit my house, that's where they hit my house. That I was able to record. So them are pretty cool too. When they hit my house, you can actually hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to mute myself while we listen to this. Okay, so I can't talk once we listen to this. So I'm just gonna play it. I'll try to do a little back and forth here. Okay, see if I can work this out. Yeah. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do hit the house first. Okay. That oops. Okay, sorry. I have to do a back and forth with my mute buttons here. That was pretty cool, Flatrock.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. What
Yeah.
was that whining noise? Was that the Bigfoot after it hit your house?
Yeah, you can hear him screaming out my window. He's screaming right there at the window. You know what I
Oh,
mean? I was
geez.
in the house when he was doing that. I was over at my mom's. We was eating dinner, and we heard the yelling out in the yard. And on the video, you can actually see us come out with the flashlights, looking around, see who's yelling out here. And I collected up the footage the next day, and that's what I ended up catching. You know, we heard the yelling, but you know, the banging come right along with it.
Man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to the next one. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself one more time, and then I'll play it. And if there's any, if it's any of these are like really long, I'm gonna kind of fast forward to where the
Yeah,
noise
fast
right before the
forward.
noises are. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hold. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. Here we go.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Oop, okay. That yeah. And what was that? They just
Hey,
knocking
that
around?
no, yeah, that one come up on the back porch. You can
Oh
actually
my
hear him
gosh.
coming up them steps. Boom, 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 boom. And then he picked up a double rocking chair to move it out of the way and dropped it. That's the bang you
Oh
hear.
my god. Oh my gosh. That's so wild. That's so wild. I mean, you must get hours of tapes of,
Oh yeah, yeah,
of
yeah,
audio. I
yeah,
don't guess they're tapes so much anymore. I don't know, digital recordings, whatever. I
yeah.
grew up in the 80s. It's all tapes, y'all. Okay. All right. I'm gonna mute myself again and we're gonna listen to the next one. Okay, here we go. Oh, and Flatrock, you're welcome to talk during this too, because
Okay.
we can hear you. You can't hear me because I'm gonna mute myself so the audio doesn't get all messy. Okay.
Got it.
All right, here we go.
What you'll hear like a here that yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that
And
was cool.
what you're hearing, it's like he's doing, and then he slaps my glass door out here. You know, he slaps that thing twice. And why he whistled before he hit it, I don't know, but that's what he's doing. You know?
Man, that's wild. That's really
Yeah,
cool. Super great captures. Okay, let
yeah.
me do another one. Okay, I'll mute myself one more time. Here we go.
Yeah, that's it. What he does there is like you did, like you uh heard last night, Miss Jessica. Right there. Well, she's frozen. anyway, what y'all hear, it goes, huh, and then he, hits my house. That's that little bump you hear, right after the, huh. Almost sound like a hiccup, don't
It does. Y'all, I got it. My computer shut down again. Y'all, Flatrock, this is the third show in a row and my computer blacked out.
Yeah, I seen that. I just
What
seen
the
that in the
heck?
chat.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
That happened again. So I was trying to, I was on my other computer. I just kept playing your audio. So I was like, oh shoot, I'll just play this over and over again until I come back. So let's do another. That was really good one. Okay, let's play the next one. Got one more, I believe.
Yeah.
All right. So let me see if I can work.
You'll hear him slap the house a couple of times and run off into the woods. I believe that's what this one is.
Yes. Andrew said it's the 3-letter agencies. They're monitoring me, and I doubt it. I'm not that special. Okay. But who knows? Who knows? Okay. Here, I'm gonna I'm gonna mute myself. Y'all, this is the first. I'm gonna mute myself. Okay. I'll be right back. Hold on. And I'm gonna play this last one.
And there's where he hit the woods. That was it.
All right. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Just slap the house and haul butt back in the woods. Just like that game, you hit somebody's house and haul tail. That's exactly what he did.
They're just out there having fun. It feels like. I mean, I don't feel like to me, it doesn't feel like they're trying to scare you. To me, it just feels like they're just like out there. It's just their thing. They're having fun. It's almost like maybe they're daring each other to go hit your house.
Yeah.
Like it's a game. Like maybe
you can actually tell the difference, on all the hits there, like from the one that was yelling and banging and the one that slapped my door to the other ones. The other ones were like light taps, and
yes.
So there was a difference between both of them,
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I am glad it's your house and not mine. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know. I mean, I think I'd be okay, but my dog would freak out. I'm so surprised that Boo. I guess Boo's just used to it.
He freaks out. He does.
Does he?
Yeah. He won't go off the porch until he smells both sides, of the wood line before he even goes down the ramp.
Oh, poor Boo. Yeah. Poor fella. Oh man. So you've got vocals now. So let's listen to some of these vocals. I'm going to be muting myself again, y'all. Okay?
Yeah. The possible languages. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Well, let's get to this. Okay. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I love hearing all these. Okay. And here, the first one's a laugh.
It's a laugh, and you'll hear a duh, a da, not da, but a laugh, and then say da.
Oh my gosh, Flatrock, have you ever heard like a full language that they speak, or what does it sound like?
You'll hear it on one of these.
Okay, we'll get to it.
Over here, yeah.
We'll get to it. Okay, I'm just going to go down them one at a time, and I'll kind of go back and forth with me coming back on here to talk to. So let me mute myself, and let's hit the.
There it is right there. Hear it laugh and say die.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yep.
That's cool. All right. Let me go to the next one. All right. Next
Yeah.
one.
Now this next one I got it posted on my Facebook page. I think I posted it on Thinker Thunker's page today, but you'll hear the grunt, like what I call grunt language. It's pretty cool way they do that. Now that owl, that ain't an owl. That's it. The one that's grunting is the one that's making that owl sound. You can hear him shifting around. That's good, Miss Jessica. That's good.
Oh, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So this is on the same recorder. This is the one that's on your porch, right?
No, that was actually at my bathroom window where I recorded that.
Oh God, your bathroom window.
Bathroom window. Yep.
Oh, Flatrock. God, knowing they're good. Have you ever caught one looking in your bathroom window before?
Yes, I have.
Oh, geez.
I was actually sitting down when it happened. Yes, I did.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Gosh, that is rough. That's rough right there. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just too funny. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. I'm gonna mute myself right quick. That is too funny. All right, here we go.
All right, you can actually hear me, Pat, Joe, Bud and Angie had done went to bed, done got in the back of their truck, but that's me, Joe, and Miss Pat. We're sitting around the table at their camper just bull crapping, and there come that whoop.
Oh man,
Yep.
that's a good one. I love the whoop. The whoops are my favorite. Those are my
And the thing about that, both Miss Pat's and Bud's, who both had recorders out, separate places, both went off at the same time. Their recorders never got that whoop. My listening device did, because I'm plugged in. They're using batteries. Their recorders were shut off. And that's when I caught that. In between, time their recorders went off and the time that they realized they went off.
Oh man, I want to listen to that one more time. So I'm going to mute myself. We'll listen to that one more time, and then I'm going to go into the next one. Okay, while I'm still muted. All right, here we go.
This is one of my best word captures, almost like it's Native American.
Yeah. Okay.
Almost
Trying
sounds
to
Native
trying to.
American, don't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It definitely sounded like a language of some sort, like a hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can hear the inflection in the tone as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Okay. Whoa. Very cool.
Now this
Okay.
next one, Juvie messing with dogs. This is how they mess with our dogs around here.
Juvie messes with dogs. All right. I'm gonna mute
Yeah.
myself right quick. Here we go.
That's good. That's good, Miss Jessica. Yes, that was all dogs. That's how they mess with our dogs.
Oh man. Poor Boo. Poor
Yeah.
Boo.
You can hear
I
Boo
mean,
in there along with all the other small dogs that's out here.
well, it makes you wonder, like how do they interact with your dogs when you're not out there too?
Yeah,
Like, can
so
they?
true. So
Yeah,
true.
maybe
Yeah.
they're just all friends. You
Yep.
know, I mean, who knows?
Yep.
They
Now
could. They
I don't.
could be.
Yep. Now I don't know how good this next one comes out because it was at a good distance away from my recorder. Because I know this one's done by recorder, but I
Okay.
tried to amplify it to bring it in. Let's see if it'll come in on this here.
Okay.
That
Well,
possible Bigfoot chatter. Unless you want to go to the language on the back porch, and that's where they open the grill, lap the
okay. Yeah. Let's
grease,
just go
and
straight to that one then.
yeah,
Let's go to that one. Okay. I'll mute
yeah,
myself. This is where they lick the grease trap. Okay. I
yeah.
can't wait to hear this one.
Yeah,
Here we go.
you'll hear the language as they're on the talking while they're on the porch. There's the grill. That's the grill. There he goes talking.
All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool. So
that
so
is
that's
cool.
that's them taking the grill,
Yeah,
all the grease out the back of the grill,
yeah,
and eating it. Didn't
yeah.
you say there was like a jug of grease or something too? And they
No,
had drank a jug of grease. Somebody told me that when we
I
were
did.
over in East Tennessee. Somebody was telling me
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
that
That
they
wouldn't have been
experienced.
me.
Maybe it was
That
Greg. Was it
yeah.
Greg
Now
House? I don't know. Somebody.
this next one, you're actually going to hear a baby out in the woods. You're going to hear the
A
mama wooing
baby.
a baby. You're going to hear the mama wooing, and then you'll hear the baby.
Okay. All right. I'm going to mute myself. Here we go.
There's the baby. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that?
Oh,
Did you hear
yes.
that baby back there?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yep.
Those are great. These are great recordings, Flatrock.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us share these with the audience tonight.
Hey.
This was great.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, and I've only stared out on here a third of what I got. You know, that's in all these folders. That's only a third of what I actually got.
I bet. I
Yeah,
bet.
I got
don't
a
know.
lot of stuff.
I'm trying to think. Is there any more? Do we have some videos or anything? Do you want to show anything else tonight?
You show the videos. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do the videos.
I don't know where the videos are. I got pictures.
It should be right up under the pictures.
Right up under the pictures?
Yeah, the folder right under the pictures. It should say video.
Okay. I'm looking here.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, right up under pictures, it should say videos.
These are just a bunch of pictures. I don't know how this stuff works. I feel like an old lady sometimes.
It's in a folder, not in the pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in a folder called videos.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I got pictures, physical evidence, Jessica J, language, and pictures. I don't see a video.
It didn't come up?
I don't think it came up. I don't think it did. But it's okay. It's okay. Listen, we've already gone well over 2 hours tonight, too. So I hope you're not getting too tired, Flatrock. I'm just saying.
No,
okay, you're in it to win it tonight.
Stuff. Yeah, I'm going for hours for this stuff.
Oh yeah, me too. No, I don't think I have a video folder. I don't actually, and it maybe it just didn't come up.
Yeah,
because of my.
I'll send it to you anyway, so you can go through them.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll love them.
But those are pretty amazing. Those are pretty great. And and Roger, thank you so much. Roger said Greg had fish grease missing, and so that's where I heard that. Okay, it was Greg from Woodwalkers. Greg House has been in the chat
now
tonight.
Open up that Jessica J folder right there. Whoop, she just went out. There you go.
Am I here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Open up that Jessica J folder and see if it's in there for you before we go anywhere.
Oh, here it is. It is. It's right there. You're so smart.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. All right, we got videos right here.
Yeah, we don't here we go. Just go to whichever one you want to go through.
Okay. If it's got audio, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself again so we can watch these. Okay, we can hear them. Okay, here we go.
The close-up picture, video of that family group in the in that nesting area. That's what that is. Well, you can actually see them better.
For some reason, I don't know if it's not playing. I don't know. Maybe my computer. I'm not sure.
It's just scrolling. Yeah, but
it just keeps on going. Here, maybe it works now.
Yeah,
No.
it's all right. It's all
Okay.
right. But you can actually see them in there, in that little hole right there, you know, where I got them circled. You can see that little family group back in there.
Okay. I'm going to go back out and try to hit the next video. Let's see. It may
Yeah.
just, it could just be my computer too. My computer is full of stuff and it doesn't like working for me sometimes. So let's see.
Speaking of UFOs, check this one out. Check this one out. Speaking of UFOs. Come on, baby. You'll see it coming out behind them trees right there in just a minute. If it'll work.
It's just.
It ain't gonna do it. It ain't gonna work. Anyway, what you see on this one? Yeah, what you see on this one, though, Miss Miss Jessica, you actually see a something actually fly in from behind that tree that's spinning. You can actually see it right there. I'll zoom in on it. Yeah, you'll see me zoom in on it.
Oh, I can see it. I can actually see it right there. So you actually caught a UFO. Is this at your house?
Yeah. I filmed this out my laundry room window one night.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, it was heading dead south. And it's definitely not a plane. You know, it just looks like it's spinning. You know.
My goodness. Just like that. Well, it wants to play. It wants to play. Oh well. Well, let's just go to the next one because this one's not. It's
There's probably none of them gonna play. You know, probably none.
Yeah. It keeps wanting to play. It's playing a little bit at a time. So, for the sake of the audience, the viewing audience, we'll just go to the next one. See if we can get it to work right quick. Sorry, y'all. We're trying. I'm trying. Just got one or two more over here. Let's try these right quick. Okay. Maybe if I don't make my screen bigger, it'll work.
Yeah, that's where they're actually walking up on the porch. You'll see that window back there, that one little light off straight to dead center. I mean, I wish I got it closer, you know, but you'll have a whole family of them come in and steal dog food from right there. But that's a 5-minute video, so it's best.
It's best just to turn. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I saw this video because you can see a shadow go in front of that light, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually on my Facebook page. So yeah.
Okay.
I believe that all these, well, not all of them.
Oh yeah, y'all go to Flatrock Wood Boogers on Facebook.
Tell you what, go to the drone footage, real quick. The drone footage.
Is this it or no?
No, go to
this one.
Yeah, that's Eyeshine. That's where you'll see Eyeshine come around that mirror where he's actually looking for my camera. That's where you what that video is.
Okay.
But you'll see where it says drones.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
And this is the drone. Yeah, this is the drone I always talk about that they brought in my yard and filmed around that nesting area. But you'll see this little light start popping up and flashing, and it's actually going over that little nesting area.
Well, we got kicked off. Oh, it's just not wanting to work. Dang it. It's not wanting to work. Yeah, it kicked us off. But
yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Well, y'all go to his Facebook page, okay? Flatrock Wood Boogers on Facebook. And then you can see it there. We can get it to work. Well, it's working on my computer over here now. So let me try one more time. Let me just try real quick, just to pull this up. And oh, I know what it is. I got kicked off StreamYard on my other computer. Okay. So so here I'm gonna make one quick attempt to try to pull this video up real quick. If I can just get back in StreamYard. But yeah, this is just fun. This is fun Flatrock. You're gonna have to come back on the show with me sometime and come talk Bigfoot with me again.
Yeah.
And look at some more footage. I mean, you even up to present day, you're still having, stuff going on out there, right?
Yeah.
At your property.
Yeah, my recent event, like I was telling you earlier, on March 9th, 1 something in the morning, I had one come on the side of my house right there, hit my pole. I'm thinking he thought it might be a camera, and he hit that pole to see if it was going to activate a camera. And when he seen it wasn't going to flash or anything, that's when he went over in the opening and got in that cooler and got in those oyster shells.
Oh, the oyster shells. I wonder what they were doing with those. I mean, I'm assuming they're probably trying to eat them. I guess,
Well,
right?
probably so, because it ain't the first time they got a hold of our oysters. A few years ago, I think early 2020, the holidays, we had a cooler of oysters, and the audio, you can actually hear them dumping out that whole cooler. All right, there's the light starting to flicker right there in the center. Right there. See that little light? That's that drone that's going around the nesting area. Right there. See that flag? That's actually a drone. That's what that's all it shows, is that drone moving through.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
super cool.
That's that drone I tell everybody about, that's flying around that nesting area that I caught out there that one night, and then soon after is when we heard the shooting going off through the woods for 2 or 3 days.
So you think that drone was probably some kind of surveillance device where they're trying to kind of hunt them down?
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, you can't tell me that our government is not aware of Bigfoot.
I think
you can't tell me that. Man. Well, I don't know. What could possibly go wrong though with shooting at bipedal humanoids out there? I mean, what? God forbid you're out there wearing a ghillie suit hunting or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how dangerous is that?
Yep.
That's really dangerous. So you got to be really careful out there.
Very.
I mean, I feel like if worse came to worse, I think those Bigfoots would protect you. I know you may not think it, but I think that they watch after y'all probably. I don't know. That's just my guess. I don't know.
They could, but
or maybe they just like to watch you use the bathroom. I don't know. Yeah, right.
I just can't say that yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice if it was. It would.
Yeah, it would. Your Bigfoot security detail. I'm going to have a wearable security detail one day. I've been saying it forever.
That dog snoring on that couch right there is my security detail.
Oh my gosh. I feel you. And Boo's a good security detail too. I've got Freya, my German Shepherd, and she does nothing gets past that girl. Nothing. Yeah, but I'm just not sure how she would react with Bigfoots around and stuff. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, you're a trooper for staying there. Have you ever thought about moving?
No.
No?
I take that back. At first, yes. Once we started realizing they were here, yes. But I was stone cold broke right now. I'm just coming in from a hurricane that wiped my house out.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting over cancer. Just had cancer surgery, all that stuff. So I'm literally wiped out. I, got this home, which I used not have a mortgage until now. So I'm stuck. And when you realize you're stuck, and you got creatures that you don't know absolutely nothing about walking around your house, that can be a little intimidating. Yes, indeed. That's intimidating.
Especially you got your mom and your wife out there too.
Exactly.
I can't imagine.
Now, my wife left for it took her 5 years to come back. After we found out about these creatures. Well, it was actually right before, because I told her right after that. When we thought it was people coming in. You know, I mean, it was a bad situation. When you got stuff banging on your house, that's a bad situation. And I asked her, what really tipped her off, to want to really get out of here. And she'd come straight out and tell you, we were sitting outside in our chairs, and when I got up and walked into the house, she said she's looking at eyes looking dead at her, from out the wood line. And and that was her tipping point to go over to our daughter's house and live there. And then, and once she found out these were Bigfoots, and not just people, it really scared her then. And it took her 5 years to come back, but she's back now. Everything's always been good. It ain't never been a bad moment, even when they're gone. We just lived a separated marriage, from over at my daughter's house at Florida state line. I'm over here in Alabama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not optimal. It's not ideal to have to do that.
No. But I can't blame her. I mean, it was a mutual decision for both of us to do that, because hell, I was scared for her too. No one, now that one was following my mom, I mean, hell, he could have been following my wife all the time too, as far as I know. So yeah, it was a trying time, but we got through it.
Well, like I said, I could not imagine. I could not imagine living with Bigfoots around like that so much. I have the convenience of just driving out to the woods when I feel like having an experience.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people that's not the case. They get stuck kind of with them there. And it's not just so easy. Like, oh, I can just why don't you just move? It's not easy for people to move.
You can't.
Not everybody can do that.
I mean, look where Greg
right.
lives. Greg lives with him as well over at his place, and they live. They got two places. You got the man cave and where they live. And that's a good situation to be in right there. It really is. And Greg can stay at the man cave and deal with his creatures, while his wife and his daughter, is away from it, which is a great thing.
Oh yeah. Greg's out there. I've actually I did a Dogman hunt not too far from where he lives over there, and out in Alabama. And boy, I tell you what, Flatrock, we hiked in over 5 miles into the middle of a forest, right down the road, not too far from where he lives. I don't know exactly where Greg lives, but I know it's not too far from there. Yeah. And so there's a lot of boogers out that way too. And somebody in the beginning of the night, somebody had asked, "Are your boogers Bigfoots?" Like, boogers and Bigfoots are the same thing, right?
Boogers are Bigfoot, same thing.
Yeah.
We just call them boogers here in Alabama.
Oh yeah, and in Georgia too, a lot of people call them boogers all over, especially around the South. We all call them boogers.
Yep.
And there's a booger holler up in Rome, Georgia. Yep. Northwest Georgia. They call it Booger Holler. Okay. Yep. And that's the name of the road. It's the name of the area, the whole community over there. So I wonder what happens out there at night. Probably boogers.
Probably the same thing that goes on here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh man. Well, Flatrock, thank you so much for being here tonight. I have thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yeah, I could go on for hours and hours more.
I know we could. I know we could.
Yeah, I got.
We absolutely could.
Yeah.
What else you got going on? You got what are your future plans? What are your future plans? You plan on staying out there?
I'm gonna die on this property.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bury myself on. Well, I can't bury myself, but I'll be buried on this property.
Oh my gosh! Hey, I hear there's some perks to having a family burial plot on your property. You don't ever have to pay taxes again and all that kind of stuff. You know that? You heard that?
That would be cool. That would be cool.
I mean, I think we should all have family burial plots on our property.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. This is not advice, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of putting thoughts out there. It's for entertainment purposes only.
Yep.
But yeah, I heard that. And I hear that. You know, that's your property. That's your property. That's your home. Stand your ground right there. And man, you have a very interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
And
And there's more to come. There's always gonna be more to come. Yeah.
there is. There is. Maybe one day I can get down there, come hang out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do a lot of Bigfoot out there. And I know I'm gonna run into you again.
Yep.
I always run into you, don't I?
Yep. Yep.
Well, we got the Molina Bigfoot Festival is coming back up. I think that's not till November, I think.
That's in November, I believe. Yep.
Yeah. I got some North Carolina events coming up, and I got an event in Florida, of course, but that's more of a disclosure. I'm usually the only cryptid person at a lot of those disclosure events.
Yeah.
So
Now that one you got there in the chat, Wind Clan Ken. Now he's my cousin. He's full blood Port Creek Indian from the Wind Clan.
oh, cool.
He's one you should bring on your channel as well. He's got a good story.
Oh,
got some
Wind
good-
Clan
he's got-
Ken.
Yep.
Well, please come on my show, cousin.
He's a
Cuz-
historian. He's a historian
really?
of the Creek Nation. You know, he knows his stuff, and he's got some really good stuff that he's captured as well.
I would love to have him on the show. I would
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, get us in touch, please. I would love that. Okay,
You
wonderful.
heard that, Ken?
Ken, you better come on my show, please. Okay. Anytime you have an open invite. Any friend or relative of Flatrocks is a friend of mine. Okay. That's for sure. Yeah. Man, well, oh my gosh. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Look, we have the best chat on the internet, the best live chat on the internet, hands down. And I know a lot of y'all, a lot of people have their own channels in here. Y'all have great chats too, but I'm just partial to my chat. I have the best live chat on YouTube. So the best moderators. Thank y'all so much for all being here tonight. I don't know, Flatrock, do you have any final thoughts or any words of advice for people when it comes to Bigfoot?
Yeah, don't call the law. They're not going to help you. Best I can give.
Yeah. Good words
Because
of advice.
I ask for help. Our county and our locals know about these creatures, but there's nothing they can do. Nothing. State troopers, they just gonna laugh at you like they did with me. But there's nothing they can do. Nothing.
They'll send
Nothing.
drones out.
Yeah, well, that was the federal people who did that. Yeah, that
Like
game
DNR.
warden. Yeah.
So there's nothing they can do. And they'll probably look at you like you're crazy and try to get you a psychological evaluation.
There you go. No,
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm friends with some sheriff's deputies and stuff. And
yeah, just if you live in the woods,
they wouldn't.
you know, just if you live in the woods, you know, keep your head on a swivel because they're most likely there. If you feel them, you can almost guarantee they're there somewhere. You know, if you feel them, you know, and you know the sensation of somebody watching you. When you get that sensation, they're most likely there.
They're
So
probably
that's
there.
the way it is. That's the way it is here.
The next time you sit down to use the toilet,
There you go. Don't look
Yeah,
out the window.
just look oh man, close the blinds. Listen, just remember to close the blinds before you go to the bathroom and take a shower. Okay, that's all. That's all.
Yeah.
That just tickles me to death though. I think it's funny, but it's also terrifying.
There's 2 miles of woods out that bathroom window. And you don't figure something was going to be there. Yeah. And it's way up off the ground. That's the thing. My hand, I got to stand on my tiptoes and put my hand all the way up just for me to reach the third blind of that window. Okay? But, I mean,
Oh my gosh.
that's how high that thing was looking in that window. You know?
Oh my gosh. Just to watch, look in the bathroom. My
Yeah.
goodness. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sure you was just looking in there to see if somebody was in there, but still, you know,
Yes.
you don't
Oh my
expect to see anything looking back at you.
No, not at all. I'd have an issue with that. I would. You know, I actually did have a state park ranger that contacted me out of Georgia, Elberton, area where the Georgia Guidestones were. We went out there it was like the month before they got blown up. Right after we were there, they actually got blown up. And but we went out there to that state park, and the ranger was like, the reason he finally got me out there is because he told me that there had been a death related to a Bigfoot looking in the window of a cabin.
Yep.
And it scared the guy so bad that he had a heart attack, is what he told me.
I can understand that part. I sure can. And Miss Blue, Miss Pat, I know we talked all day, but I'm still real talkative.
You're a trooper.
Got to get it out of me.
Oh my gosh.
I love that lady.
I do too. And you guys were up late with me over at Spaced Out Radio last night. Y'all were all in the chat last night. I was so tickled to see y'all there last night. That was so great.
Yep.
Yeah. Out there with Dave Scott. I stayed up even after I got off that show. I was still up for another hour and a half, almost 2 hours. I was so tired this morning.
Yep.
But it was well worth it.
Yep.
It was always good. So yeah, man, thank y'all so much. Like I said, for being here tonight. And I always tell everybody to don't live in fear. Okay, just don't live in fear. Live in awareness of all the stuff that's around us.
We went through that fear part, and it ain't fun. It is not fun to live in that fear part. No. Because we didn't know nothing about them. Nothing. Didn't believe in them. Just know nothing. If you ain't aware of these creatures and you don't think they exist, you just flat out wrong, and you're living in fantasy land, because these things are real. These things are real.
Yeah, and to be so immersed in their habitat there, you're living in their habitat. I mean, they've probably been there they may have been there for centuries.
Yeah, they were here long before we did. They, when we bought the property, the only thing that we had a clue of that animals were getting in garbage was, they just told us, don't leave out garbage. What were we thinking when somebody says that? Bears, coons, possums, coyotes, whatever. There's no bears, so we don't worry about bears. But them were the normal critters you'd think about. Well, it ended up she wasn't talking about the normal little critters. She knew what was out here on this property.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Where do you think they go when they're not being seen? Like, where do they live? Like, I know they live in the forest, but where are they?
I believe they're back in the kudzus, because it's just so thick and it's shaded, and you walk up under a bunch of kudzu, and it could be 100 degrees outside. You walk under that kudzu, it's cool under there. It's cool. You ain't got that sun beaming down on you. You got plenty of cover from all ways, front, side, back, top, total cover from anything seeing you back there. And I believe they're also close to the waterways, where it's cool, a little water, muddier ground, cooler ground, where they can lay on, stuff like that.
Yeah. A lot of times, when I was up in East Tennessee with some of the guys from Cryptid Warfare Ops and Survival, those guys, and Harley Owens, we were up there with Harley, and he took us to one of his areas in East Tennessee, and there was a creek out there, down the holler, down the valley, and that's where on Saturday night, that's where a couple of Bigfoots kind of came up from that creek. I mean, I think they're using those creeks as their highways.
Yeah, they are. They're using the Spoga River here as their little main highway back and forth. But unknown, just hit me up on Facebook.
That is Eric. That's Edie Testerman. Eric Testerman. Yeah. So
just hit me up on Facebook. I'll go over it. I got good equipment to go over it too.
That would be awesome. Actually, Eric has Bigfoots on his property too. He lives out in Missouri, and so he's. I think he's put out some recorders too, and there's female voices on them and stuff, and Native American dialects. things as well. So, yeah, you guys would actually have a really cool conversation talking to each
Yeah,
other. I think
yeah.
a lot in common with
I
your
can,
with
if
the
he's
song.
got him on his property, I can probably tell him how to set up something where he can actually hear outside from inside his house, like I got.
Yeah, Eric, watch the window when you go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
especially at night.
Well, if we'd have been able to
Boy,
play the videos, you'd have been able to see one right here outside my living room window, just sidestepping back, side to
yeah.
side. So it got around that tree. It's on my Facebook page if y'all want to see it. But you'll see him right outside my window, just going side to side until I move that camera. And that's when he, squats and starts backing out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But that original recording of that footage is actually 2.5 hours and not
Wow.
just that small little clip. I
Oh,
filmed that thing
really?
for 2.5 hours right out this window. And it's a 1 minute clip. I thought that was total bull. It wasn't worth a crap. And when the people started seeing it, man, that's the best thing I ever seen. Come on. Yeah,
You
come
never
on.
know what you're getting. You never know what
Yeah,
you're getting, and
yeah,
it's good stuff. I mean, I'm
yeah.
impressed. I'm impressed with all of it. And what's up, Boo? There's Boo. Boo's
There he
like,
is.
I
Come
need
here,
to go
buddy.
to bed, Daddy.
Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on.
Everybody loves seeing dogs
Come show
on here.
yourself. I'll move him over
Hey,
here.
Boo, can we see you? Hey, Boo.
There's my boo.
Hey, Boo, how you doing? Oh, look, my dog's here too. Come here, Freya. You want to
Yeah,
come see? Freya just ran over here too. My mom's dog's name is Boo as
yeah,
well. And so my dog heard me say Boo, and she thought Boo was in here with us for a
yeah.
second.
Boo's actually a rescue dog who chose me. I didn't choose him. He chose me. If you don't mind, let me tell this story real quick.
No, tell it. Of course not.
I was going to the power place to get my meter box to put up, and adoption center is right next door to it. And my mom, she drove up there with me. But I pulled over there. I told Mom, I said, Mom, I'm going to go check these dogs out because I recently lost my Great Dane a few months earlier. So I pulled over there. I went back there to the cage. I didn't see nothing I liked, nothing. So I was walking back to the car, and I was walking back. I seen that lady taking Boo back there. And I got inside my car. I ain't shut my door yet, but as soon as I got in, I seen Boo break away from that lady, come running up, got on the side of my door, and then laid his damn head right on my chest.
No.
Oh my God, But
Yeah.
the lady come and got him. Lady come and got him. I pulled off, got about 200 yards down the road. I said, Mom, I gotta go back. Gotta go back. And that from then on, Boo's been my blessing. He's been my blessing. Yep.
He chose you.
He
He chose
chose
you.
me. Yep.
There's no going back after that.
Yep.
He got those
Yep.
puppy dog eyes.
When he laid that head on my chest, that was it. And that just seemed like he
Oh,
knew that too.
he
Yeah.
did. Oh,
Yeah.
he's your sidekick now, and you guys,
Yeah.
y'all go everywhere together.
Yeah.
He's always with
Everywhere.
you.
He
Yeah, he's
always
always
goes camping, camp out, wherever. He's right there with me.
he is your loyal protector. I
Mm-hmm.
love it, and friend to Bigfoot out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I love that. We do have a question right quick before we go
Go ahead.
tonight. Bunky time. Okay, he says, what do you guys think of the theory Bigfoot is a giant South American monkey? They have the same nose, reddish eyes, claws, like South American monkey. I don't know. I've never really looked at a South American monkey, so I don't think they're related personally. But I think
Personally,
Bigfoots
I
are their
don't
own
need
thing.
them.
Yeah,
I think the Bigfoots are a special or a different
they
type of thing. I believe
yeah,
they're a cross between humans and something. It's my personal opinion.
yes,
But apes, no. I mean, they got Gigantopithecus that Jeff Meldrum was talking about a lot for a long time. That being Urangutanus, that got blown out of the water. So he
yes,
don't even talk about Gigantopithecus no more because he was wrong.
yeah.
And but I believe they're a hybrid of human and something else. I do.
I do too. You know, some of the skunk apes do look like orangutans. They say kind of, and we got them skunk apes in Georgia.
Yeah,
You got them down there in Alabama too. Donnie Cho.
probably.
Excuse me, one commercial break. Donnie Cho, thank you so much for being here tonight. You're so sweet, and thank you for that super sticker. Hello, it's good to see you. Long time no see, buddy. We need to catch up sometime. That was very sweet of you. And yeah, I have my good friend Matthew Delph. The first Bigfoot he ever saw actually looked just like an orangutan. He said long hair and everything, like the reddish red hair, and it had like long hair down its arms, and not exactly like an orangutan, but more like an orangutan than anything.
Like the hair of a orangutan. That's
Yeah.
what he was saying. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I think he lives in Virginia. I'm not sure where he had that encounter. Probably Virginia.
I mean, just by the way these creatures walk, is nothing like an ape. Nothing like an ape. They walk like humans, bent over forward, but like humans. They can go on all fours. They can run on all fours, but they walk too on both legs. With a slight lean over, and that's not apish. I'm sorry, it's not.
Mm-mm. Yeah, or they're spider crawling, being all creepy and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that they're primates. It's kind of funny. Like some of the guys on my team would be like, well, we're not looking for a primate in the woods. This is not a monkey in the woods. Back when we all first started, we were all thinking we were looking for a big monkey in the woods, right?
They call us primates.
Yeah.
I don't see myself as no primate.
A little less hairy, probably.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's still kind of cool. It's still interesting. There's much to learn about Bigfoot. None of us know anything about it really. We think we do, but we really don't.
That's right.
Yeah. But I think people that would know more than most would be people like yourself, Flatrock, that have them living right there with you.
People who live on private property, who have these creatures on their property, know a lot more than these so-called elites in the Bigfoot community. They know because they're dealing with them yearly, not once a week, 2 times a month, 3 times a month, whatever. They live with them a lot, like we do. When them things get ready to come in, they're coming in, period. They don't care what you think or anybody else. When they get ready to come in your yard, they're coming. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing.
Yeah.
You can try to turn them. You can try to turn them with cameras, but all they're gonna do is go around the camera.
Or they're going to destroy your camera.
Or destroy your camera. Yep.
Yeah. Turn it the opposite direction where you can't see them. Things like that.
I mean, I actually put security lights up on my mom's house, all the way around her house. The little stick up security lights, the motion light.
Yeah.
The next day, the next morning, I walked around her house and every one of them was laying on the ground. Every one of them. Every one of them was laying on the ground.
Were they still weren't running?
They were still working, but they was laying on the ground. I mean, the backside of 1 or 2 of them were busted open, exposed batteries. I guess they were, slapped off or something. But yeah, they knocked them right off her trailer.
I think the Bigfoots would look at that like somebody was putting hidden cameras in their house.
Yeah.
Because like outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the IRs, to us, we can't see the IR. We see the little red light. But to them, it's like us putting a flashlight in our eyes. That's what they're seeing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they can see the IR lights. That's a red light that comes off of these things. And I feel like they can sense the batteries, the energy that comes off of those things. I mean, they just can feel the energy. They can feel the frequency coming off of it.
Yeah. They can smell that plastic well, just like bears can. Bears can smell that petroleum off on them trail cameras, and that's why they basically just tear them up with their mouth, tear them up. Because I guess they don't like that smell. I don't know.
No. Do you think our government will ever come out? I know I said that I don't think they will ever come out with disclosure of Bigfoot, but what do you think?
No. And
No.
it's going to take people like those two pilots that Tyler talked to, to come out. And, and that basically tell you, the government knows. And you just got to go
Yeah.
with what you know. Because government ain't going to tell you.
Yeah. Would you recommend that people go to like report their Bigfoot sightings to like the BFRO or a group like that, or any kind of a Bigfoot group? I mean, if somebody has an issue with a Bigfoot that
Personal
starts saying, then what do you
preferences.
suggest?
I'd say personal preferences. I've
Yeah, me
never
too.
reported mine. That's well, they're not mine, but I've never reported any of my encounters
Yeah.
other than when I brought that game warden onto the property to show him,
Hmm.
that these creatures are in our yard, and and what they did, if they did that, I'm almost 100% positive they did, but I can't say that because we didn't see it. So all we could do is what we heard, that was going on out here, and then not seeing that creature no more, or that whole family group no more. We didn't see that whole family group no more, but mostly that one big brown one, because that was the one we were focused on, was that big brown one. And we just never seen him no more, and so we figured he was eradicated. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
they
just
didn't bring a drone on the property for no reason. I can tell you that.
That's right. I just remembered something. Um, my mom and I had a conversation the other night. We were kind of talking about, I think somebody in the chat had mentioned this, because I don't know if it was you we were talking about, it was somebody we were talking about. It might have been you and Boo. I can't remember. But we were talking about, I saw this comment from Honest Content. It said, put a GPS in a sausage and see where it goes. Like a tracker device.
Yeah,
What if we got Boo a camera to wear
yeah,
and put
I
it on a
remember that.
collar? Have you ever thought about putting a camera on your dog
Not
or some kind
yet,
of
but I
device?
remember. I remember us talking about that, and
Yeah,
that is a good idea. It is, or put
yeah,
a GoPro around it, on top, and let him as he's walking through, let him, be filming like we would.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. Maybe
no,
not
I
something
don't.
that's so obvious,
Yeah,
maybe something that's kind of hidden,
yeah,
uh, that he could wear, because I think that would be really cool just to see where,
yeah,
I mean, in any kind of animal you got. I mean, shoot, if you had goats or anything, put a camera on
yeah,
them.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yep,
I mean, you gotta think outside the box, right?
yeah. You
If you
do,
wanna
you
get
do,
see them.
you
I
do.
I think that would be cool. Actually, Eric, Edie Testerman, I think you should do that with your dog too. Put them on your dogs. Put cameras on the dogs. But yeah, I could put one on my dog too when I take her out to the woods. That'd be kind of fun.
All right, Miss Pat wants me to tell you how Boo is. All right, like when they were all here, Pat, Joe, Bud, Angie. Well, Bud wanted to test Boo. He come down here to test Boo, Cause I told him, anytime Boo barks or growls, he's going after them, not after a dog or a deer or a coon or a possum or a cat. He will not bark at them. He will only bark and growl at these buggers.
Huh.
So we're all sitting around the table. Boo's sound asleep, snoring away, and he just jumps up, in a full stance, walks over towards, close to the back gate fence right here, and starts growling and barking. Bud grabs up his thermal, testing Boo, and he starts thermaling. Miss Angie, she grabs the night vision. I wish she'd have had it put it on record though. God, she had it.
Oh
Uh,
no.
anyway, Bud's going down the fence line, and he actually filmed something behind a tree, and it jumps back like this right here, back behind that tree. He actually got caught that on thermal. But by the time then, you can hear Angie going, Bud, 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 Bud. And she starts explaining what she had seen. She said she seen something go across, uh, and then she went back to it, and it shot off. And and she described it, by seeing a mark on a tree. That's how we figured about the size of it was this mark on the tree that she was looking at, and she swears up and down it was a Bigfoot that that Boo. She was right there. She was looking right there where Boo was barking and all at first, and then Boo started walking down that fence line, and Bud caught that one over there behind that tree that that jumped back behind it, and he does that for me all the time. He lets me know when them creatures are right up on that in the close to the wood line. He lets me know every time. Every time.
Oh my gosh, I trust Boo.
So that's why I feel safe. I do. Boo lets me
Yeah.
know, so I'm really feel safe as long as he's right there with me.
I love that.
Even going out at in the pitch dark, he would let me know.
Oh yeah, Boo knows. That's
Boo
right.
knows.
Yeah, we love our dogs. We love our dogs here on this channel. And
That's why I say that's why I say he's been a blessing to me. He really has. He's been a blessing to me out here. Sure enough.
the canine research team.
Yeah.
Boo is one trustworthy researcher. Yes, Andrew, thank you. He is. I trust
is.
that canine researcher. He can sniff out a Bigfoot a mile away.
He's the best. Your pets are your best tool in the woods when you got creatures around. That your pets are your best tool. They better than thermals, better than recorders, better than listening devices, whatever. Better than our own nose senses and hearing senses. Dogs can smell them things out long ways away from us.
Oh yeah, and Rose Thistle artwork says, and I agree. If they wanted to hurt you, they could have by now. They probably just want to feel safe with their baby so close to y'all.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's a good thought. I love ending the show on a positive note.
And that's why the reason I wanted them baby pictures seen and that baby audio played, because it shows you there are families out there. There are families out there, not just a single critter here and there. They're families.
That's right. With mamas and babies and daddies out there, just like us.
Yeah.
And I feel like they've got a pretty safe haven over there. As long as they don't mess with y'all, you won't mess with them.
That's right.
And so I can appreciate that. I'm the same way.
Yeah. Well, that's another reason I took all the cameras down. Yeah.
Respect, right?
Yep.
Respect's a big thing when it comes to Bigfooting.
Yep.
It is.
Audio is good enough for me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I respect you big time, Flatrock, and thank you so much for being here tonight.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to have you back on the show in the future and to see you back out in the woods soon.
Absolutely.
We always have a good time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll be at LBL on Labor Day weekend, and they got that animal research thing.
Yeah. I might go to
Labor
that.
Day weekend, so yeah, we're gonna go out to that.
Yeah. I spoke at that one last year. That was fun, and Wayne invited me to this one just to come hang out this year, and so I might come up there. I have not been to the LBL yet, so yeah, I'm still.
Yeah, sooner or later I'm gonna get the guts up to get out in front of people, and start talking.
Yeah, I've seen you. No, I saw you. You actually were wonderful. You and Tyler, y'all have spoken twice.
But you never see me lift my head up to look at the crowd though.
Oh gosh, you're great. But you're a hit every time you go out and talk. You really are. And you know what? And when it boils down to it, when we're doing these local town halls and we're doing the community lectures and things like that, people just want to hear real life stories, and they can relate. And you're perfect. You're perfect for that. Okay, so I think you do wonderful, and I have seen you at least 3 times. I'm pretty sure 3 times. If I can't, or maybe more than that. I've twice.
2 times.
Well, you've been at a bunch of events.
Oh yeah, I've been at a bunch of events now. Oh yeah, a bunch of them, But,
well, you were the East Alabama this past year town hall. Y'all spoke at that, and in the Molina town hall. Y'all were there. That was great too. We got to preach to the choir in front of the church. That one. That was fun. I
It
got up and I said,
was
I feel like
right
I'm
there at the
preaching to the
pulpit.
choir today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got to speak in the pulpit
that's right. That's right.
and telling the truth.
Fire and brimstone when it came to
That's it.
Bigfoot. That's right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If y'all can't tell, everybody that's watching right now, we do have a lot of fun. And every time I run into Flatrock anywhere, I just light, my face lights up. I know it because I just love seeing you there
Yeah.
and getting to hang out. We really do. We really do have a good time. And you can ask anybody in this chat tonight that's been out there with us. We have fun. And that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Some of the best people I've met are Bigfooters.
Yep.
Stuff.
How's it
Do you
going,
consider yourself
River?
right? Do you consider yourself a Bigfooter, Flatrock? Because I know you said you're not a researcher. You say is what you say.
I really don't
But you kind of
research.
are. You
Well,
kind
in
of
a
do now.
way, in a small way, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't see research as just somebody going out in the woods or doing what I'm doing. I see research as people who study,
Mm-hmm.
and like what you do. You go out to the
Yeah.
woods a lot,
Yeah.
and you're always learning.
Mm-hmm.
Even before you go out in the woods, you're always learning. That's a researcher. Miss Pat and Joe, they learn and they're always in the woods. They go where these sightings are. They just don't go anywhere. They go where these sightings are, and that's why they're getting such great captures. Like the videos, the thermal footage they just got. Again,
Yeah.
one of the most, that's to me, is one of the best thermal footage of a cryptid there is.
Yes.
Hers and Stacy Brown Jr.'s are the top of the top. There is nothing above these thermal images, and I'm just glad I know these people, and they've been here to my home,
Yeah. Yeah.
and glad to be associated with them. Glad
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
and
If
that's
people
who I'm learning, from.
and they're learning from you too. We're all learning
Yeah,
from you.
yeah. I give them a place to come to deal with these creatures, and
Mm-hmm.
and I get to learn how they are interacting with these critters.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do the same when I'm ready. Hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. And we're making some good friends in the process. That is a fantastic video that was it? It's JPBA research team.
Hmm.
If I got that acronym right, okay. And y'all go back last Thursday night, not this week, but the week before, they were on the show, and so we broke it down. We broke that video down. I remote viewed that thing. Okay,
Yep.
my team remote viewed that thing. I had a whole team of people that remote viewed it, and it was really cool getting all that data from those blind targets from
Yep.
my whole team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
She sent me a little
yeah,
clip. A good
yeah,
3 to 5 minute clip, and I broke it down frame by frame. 60 frames a second. Yo,
yeah.
and just look at every frame. And wow, what can I say? Wow.
It's good stuff. It's good
Yeah.
stuff. Well,
Yeah.
you keep it up over there at your house. I know you just live in the middle of it and
Yeah.
everything, but keep us posted. If
Oh
anything
yeah.
exciting happens, please let me
Oh yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you're always welcome to come back on this show anytime, Flat Rock. You and Boo. Okay.
yeah, if you know somebody to come on, just holler at me.
Oh,
I'll
I'll
always come
holler
on.
at you.
Mhm.
Oh, I'll holler at you.
Yep.
I've only waited 2 years to get you on the show. Okay.
I'm shy.
You're stuck now. Now you're gonna come on all the time. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys, y'all please go over to Facebook and follow Flatrock Wood Boogers
There you
on
go.
Facebook. Okay. And some of my moderators have been putting it in the chat, a link to it. Y'all can go send him a friend request over there or follow his page. And Eric, Edie Tesserman, Eric said that he sent you a request. So
Okay.
he'd like to have you listen to that audio. So
Will
be
do.
sure to check that out. And thank you, Cryptiville, for putting on that link in there. My
Yeah,
moderators are the best, and they're my
he's
friends.
a family.
Yeah.
He's an Alabamian.
Oh yeah. What's up, Cryptiville?
Yeah.
And yeah, he's up at the LBL now and
Yeah.
stuff. So he's
Oh, is
up
he?
that way.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe you guys can link up next time you go up there or
Yeah.
something. But well, Flat Rock, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna let him.
Anytime.
This is one of the longest shows I have done. I think the longest show I've done is like 3 hours, and we are
Yeah.
right at the 3 hour mark right now. Yeah. So
I enjoyed it.
it was a marathon, the
Yeah.
Saturday night marathon, Cryptid marathon with Flatrock.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful night. Thanks again, Flatrock, for being here. You guys come back and see me on Monday. I will have a show Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 Central. And I'm going to go get some sleep because I'm getting tired. I was up all night at Space Out Radio last night.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only reason I'm still going strong right now, because I was up late last night. Yeah. But anyways, will you stay safe out there, Flatrock? Okay.
Oh, I'm going to.
Please. I know you will. All right. And
Keep
please,
those recorders going, people.
yeah, keep the recorders going. Oh, I have a picture from us. I forgot I had this uploaded. Let me take that comment down. This was us in Alabama, Flatrock.
There we go.
There's Flatrock and Patrick Noble and Wendell and let's see who else. Oh my gosh, Dale Boswell,
Dale, Wendell, Patrick,
Mark Green's in the back.
Jessica. Yep, there's Mark and Rebecca.
Mark's under that tent. That was at that Talladega Forest hunt camp we were at.
And that's the Squatch and Holler's tent straight back behind.
Yeah.
Behind Mark and Rebecca.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Roger's been in the chat.
That's where they I guess found that orb at. It's back up and right back there where that tent is back there.
Oh yeah, that was a good. And if you go straight back, there's another vehicle to the left of that tent, way back there. That's where that hunter. Did we even talk about that tonight? About what happened out there with that hunter that got found ripped to pieces?
Yeah. No,
I don't think we even mentioned that, did we?
Yeah, but straight back there where that back truck is, that's Patrick's truck. And keep going past that gate back there, and there's a green field back up in there where that hunter got killed at. And it's true. It really happened.
Did we talk about that earlier? I don't think we did. Well, did anybody find out whatever happened to him? He just had his arm ripped off and his leg was broken.
His arm ripped off and his leg, was behind him. And there were no guns. The gun wasn't shot, so he didn't shoot at whatever, But I don't see a bear ripping somebody's arm off and having his leg behind his back. I don't see that, And he's up against a tree, Yeah.
It takes a lot of force to rip somebody's arm off.
Yeah.
I have never done it. Okay, I've never done it. I hadn't done it yet. Okay, so I would assume it takes a lot of force to rip an arm off, especially like at the shoulder or wherever. I don't know the details.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's rough. And so what do we do? We go camping there.
Yeah, that's the 100% story. But I try to block that from even acknowledging that while I'm there at Holland's. Because Holland's Hunter's Camp is a very special place. It really is. And if anybody ever goes there and camps during certain times of the year, like right there between autumn and winter, you're going to get a lot of activity up in that area. Basically it's year round, but, if you really want to be there during the activity, that's from autumn to winter. You will have a blast recording stuff out there.
Yeah, just watch your back, because
watch your
don't want to end up. Don't go by yourself.
Mm-mm.
Right? That hunter was out there by himself. Apparently, I mean,
he was.
Yeah, there was nobody out there with them. Never go alone to places like that, y'all. I'm just saying. Even hunters, just let somebody know where you are, where you're going, and have a check-in time.
I'm gonna blow a narrative up right here. Just talk about Holland. I'm gonna blow this narrative right out.
Okay.
You know how they say, Bigfoots are elusive. They don't come around big crowds. Well, we had a camp out there. Jonathan Odom was having a camp out there. They was 15 of us sitting around, bull crapping. Some of them were on the pipe. Anyway, over this white truck you could see two eyes looking right toward us. And I'm saying, hey guys, is that eye shine? And everybody's looking, but nobody gives a crap. But we're looking straight at eye shine. There's 15 people looking at this eye shine, and nobody wants to get up and say nothing. So eventually, I start heading toward my tent, and I see Joe Parker, him and Pat, standing in their trailer. I said, Joe, we just seen some eye shine right back here. And he says, yeah, I just had something messing around my trailer just a few minutes ago, and
No
squirreled
way.
off when I come out the door. And we're talking the same block of wood, same area, but yet that creature was right there with a bunch of people in this park, in this hunting camp, and yet they come up on us. That blows that narrative right out of the water that they stay away from people, a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Oh crap, they do not. They'll come up on you.
Oh
They
yeah.
will. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They totally will.
Yeah.
They ain't scared.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, just got to keep your head on a swivel, like you said.
Yeah.
Keep your head on a swivel. And, it's also weird. It's like nobody, you see the eye shine. We're all out there to go Bigfooting, right? It's like we're all there like to fellowship and have fun, but we're also there because we're maybe wanting to have a Bigfoot experience out there.
Yeah, there was a little bit more fellowshipping on that truck.
Yeah, a little more fellowship in the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta hold that peace pipe. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I have not seen any peace pipes in Bigfoot.
That's why nobody cared about that eye shine.
Oh man! Well, sounds like a good time, anyways. It does sound like a good time. That's funny. Flatrock, you're giving away all the secrets. I'm just kidding. You did blow it out the water right there.
Hey, that's funny. Just how Hollins is, though. It really is. That's how Hollins is. It's a one in a lifetime place to go. It really is.
I'm glad that I got to go. And when I left, I was really creeped out driving down that road by myself late at night. I don't get creeped out like that usually, but I got real creeped out. Yeah. And then I saw those two creatures on the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, GPS ain't gonna take you there unless you put in a certain place, not a just Hollins Hunter Camp. It ain't gonna take you to Hollins Hunter Camp.
That's how I got lost last year. Do you remember that? I got lost. Did you hear about that? Yeah. And I drove through a river and two creeks and over a berm. Yeah.
You're not the only one who's done that. There's been many of people who went that same track you did, and got lost back there.
Yeah, don't turn down White Oak. It's called White Oak or something. It's like White Oak Trail. Do not turn down White Oak. It's like somebody needs to put a sign out there. It says, "Do not turn here." Yeah,
that's so true. That's so true.
It was so bad, but it's all good. It's all good. I ended up turning around and going home after that because it was just too much. It was getting late. So, but maybe it's best that I did turn around. Maybe I was going to have a Dogman encounter that I didn't need to have or something. Who knows? But nonetheless, I don't know.
Well, you had an encounter on the way back this last trip.
I did something.
If you would have stayed, you'd have never got that seat. What you did.
That's right. If I stayed,
we tried to get you to stay. We tried.
I know.
We tried.
Well, and I could have. I was joking around about putting my hammock right there where that hunter had been ripped apart.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to it as long as somebody else will go with me. But nonetheless, it was fun. It was fun. I might have driven my truck down there.
Yep. Yeah. Always fun.
It is. It is. Well, that's the cue. My son's back there cueing me. He's like, "Mom, it's 1. Yeah, I gotta get off." I've got my producers back here telling me I need to cut.
Well, tell him I said hello, and I'll see him at the next conference that we're at.
Yes, I'll tell him. I will, and tell your family, your wife, I said hello, and we will see you at the next event. And thank you, Robin. I loved this show too. I really did. This is awesome. And so Flatrock will be back, y'all. We'll have Flatrock back on hopefully soon. And until then, everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you so much to all the people who gave super stickers tonight. It was so good to have Area 51 in here. Andrew, Gnomes and Trucking, Maureen, and Donnie Cho was in the chat tonight. You guys are the best. And so thank you to all the Hunt Club members that are in here, all my Patreon members, and just everybody for being here. I'm a moderator. Y'all are the best. And so follow Flatrock Wood Boogers on Facebook.
Yep.
And come back and see me on Monday, y'all. Everybody have a wonderful night. I'm sending all my love and light to every one of y'all. And I will see y'all back here on Monday. Thank you, Flatrock. We'll see you
Bye,
soon.
everybody.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.